Mad Church Disease, a channel that's all about current events, news, and Christian drama. A channel that's dedicated to our forgotten brothers and sisters throughout the ages. Our brothers and sisters who courageously stepped outside the safe bounds of institutional Christianity to tell the truth. A channel whose goal is to help the average person understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. So, comment, subscribe, and smash the notifications button to be a part of this channel.
Good morning. Shout out to all of you here with the Mad Church Disease podcast. I'm your humble host and servant, Marcellus McMillan. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm tired. Y'all listen to me. Hold on. Let me turn this around. Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus, when I tell you I'm late getting up this morning, sorry, it is what it is. Shout out to the 4 or 5 of y'all that's here on a Friday. Can y'all please make sure that y'all hit the like button so it can send out some notifications to everybody that we are live. I was rushing in here like the 5 heartbeats, I declare. And this is one of these mornings and one of these lives where we just gonna talk. And not only are we just going to talk, but I'm also going to eat my muffin, my muffin, because I ain't had no breakfast. I normally get up and have breakfast in the whole 9 yards before I have my coffee and all my stuff. So I'm having coffee and a muffin. So y'all be kind and patient with me. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man? I'm just saying. Hey, Brittany, I'm just in here being silly. Y'all come on in. We're going to have a good conversation. Y'all know that we talk all trending topics. Shout out to the members. Shout out to Ann. Shout out to Lynn. Thank y'all for being members. Shout out to Daryl Moore. Shout out to y'all for y'all being members as well as subscribers. Brittany, where your membership at? I thought Walking in Love was a member too. I don't know why some of these names, I'm surprised. But some of y'all, I thought Walking in Love was a member, but go and get you a membership so you can help undergird the channel. Because y'all know that's really what supports the channel primarily. What's up, Dion? What's up, Dion? What's up, Jacqueline? We just gonna talk, and I'm gonna eat my muffin. For those of you that are new coming in here, I normally don't eat on camera, but this is one of these here mornings. One of these mornings. I'm so hungry. So I'm gonna eat this muffin. Come on in here. I normally don't like to eat on camera. Everybody knows that. I'm sure Lynn and them is shocked that I'm doing this, but I'm so hungry. I'm gonna eat this muffin. This morning it's Friday, so we're gonna talk hot topics, the church drama, as well as what y'all call the tea. And the scandals that nobody's talking about. Everybody's probably talking about them, but we're going to talk about them too. So we'll talk about, I know, right, Lynn? Listen. Do you know the Muffin Man? Y'all know it takes about 3 or 4 minutes. Shout out to all of you that are subscribing to the channel. I do believe last night we crossed 22,000. I'm not sure. I got to verify that, but I think we made it over the hump there. So the more you guys share the shows and the more you guys like the videos, the more it helps. Also, they have hyping the videos. You guys get the opportunity to hype the videos. So if you guys would be really kind when you get an opportunity to hype the video, it helps to get the video out further. Hey, you guys. Hey, CC. I'm sorry I'm eating on camera, y'all. Normally, I don't do this, but I am really hungry. Now, yesterday, and what I've been doing for the last couple of days, I went to happy hour because, you know, everything at the happy hour is normally half price and half menu, half price and stuff. So I've been going to the happy hour having, really eating good for like half the price. I mean, literally. And if you ever want to get something to eat that's really good, and you ain't got to pay all the full price for everything, just go to a happy hour. You eat everything at half the price. And if you want a little libation, normally they have $5 and $6 margaritas and $3 beers and things like that. So it is what it is. But shout out to all of you guys. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm just so amazed at how people is really literally trying to walk away. I don't even know that song. I made that up on the fly, the manual. I've heard it before, but I don't know that song. I'm goofy like that. I'll just start singing. Hey, Mary, this is open mic Friday night. So Mary, let me drop this mic in case you want to come up here. Y'all know this open Friday, so that means y'all get to come up here and talk. So don't be acting like you all shy and scared. I ain't got time for all that. It's our Friday night open mic night, so y'all come on. And y'all can talk about whatever you want to talk about, really. And I got a clip too. Did I download that clip? No, I didn't. I got to download that while we on live because we must play that today. I got one of the clips downloaded. I don't have that other one downloaded. Somebody say we are shy. Well, R. Lowry, you don't have to show your face. As long as I hear your beautiful voice and know you're a real person, I don't really care what's going on, Darielle. It's open mic Friday. Y'all make sure y'all bring yourselves up on this here screen to help out your boy get through this Friday. Let me switch over this. Doggone it. YouTube on the phone done changed the app so daggone much. You don't know where to press on to go to. I love it when people's iPads go out. Hold on, Mary, I see you. Hold on, Mary's up in the house, up in his house.
Hey, happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, you guys. We're just gonna chit chat. This is our open mic night, so we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. So any other trending topics or anything else that you want to discuss, I'm trying to get over to my own channel here. I want to talk about did you see that comment that Funky Deneva made about the Kevin Hart roast?
No, I hadn't seen that one yet. What did he say?
Oh, no. I'm gonna pull it up. I want everybody to hear what he said because it was a complete mic drop. When I say a complete
Funky Deneva has been doing real good lately.
Yeah, it was a complete mic drop. Let me go on and put up my brother from another mother. What's up, Daryl?
Hey, Daryl.
Hey.
What's up? Did I read you correctly? You said 3 shots of tequila already?
Shoot, I'm up to 6 now.
Oh shoot! What brand? What brand of tequila?
Shoot, I got an X. It's got a D on the front of it. One of my cigar club members' birthday today, and we're doing a fish fry over here at the lounge. They frying catfish and perch and doing Polish boys. That's a Cleveland sandwich. It's got a Polish sausage, French fries, and coleslaw covered in barbecue sauce.
I would be okay without the French fries, but I get you. I understand because I'm from North.
Yeah, it's a Cleveland delicacy.
But in North Carolina, we'll do our coleslaw, but we ain't throwing no French fries on top of that.
Oh man, it tastes good. Trust me, it tastes real good.
Daryl, you should only have half of one of them.
Oh no, I'm not eating at all. I'm just sitting there relaxing. I help cook.
He's the tequila and cigar smoker today. He's the tequila drinker. Sign him up for the shots.
Right. Yeah, I normally drink bourbon, but since it's the birthday boy likes tequila, that's what we're drinking. Every time somebody walk in, we have to take a shot. I hope don't nobody else come.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So here it is.
I ain't gonna be no good by 3 o'clock.
Daryl said I ain't gonna be no good. Well, Daryl, for those of you that don't know, I just told him for the last couple of days, I've actually been going to the happy hour, and I just been eating for like half the price. And yes, I had my little tequilas and my little margaritas, whatever.
You had a Texas margarita yet?
No, what's a Texas margarita?
Cuervo Gold, sugar on the rim instead of the salt. That Cuervo, the one in the gold one. And
okay.
Oh yeah, it'll put you in the dirt.
Yeah. I don't do. I wouldn't get it with the sugar around the top, because I'm you guys know I'm cutting down on all of my sugar intake. And by the way,
they'll use raw sugar. They'll use raw sugar, or you can stick with the salt, whatever you know. Yeah, I like the raw sugar.
And I'm praying for your sister as well.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I read the message. I've been going, trying to get in here and be on time. But Yeah. I got to see the first part of your show yesterday. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing, but
Yeah.
I appreciate everything. Let me just tell y'all, y'all pray for me, because I tell you, the spirit of murder has been all over me.
These romantic jokers killing me.
The spirit of murder been all over me. But thank God for Mary.
We rebuke.
Thank God for Mary and Daryl, because I tell you, and Gerald, they've been talking me down. I swear they have.
It ain't worth it, because your freedom is more important. Because these jokers is not worth it. I ain't gonna lie. I know how you feel. Trust me, you've been there with me, so I know how that feels.
Yeah, it's been an interesting thing, especially when people who claim to have the spirit of God are manipulative and lying and all this kind of crap, and then they try to purport themselves as being truth tellers. It just gets annoying.
Ain't no truth telling.
Somebody said Texas. So you said something about tech. What was the name of it? Texas what?
Texas margarita.
Texas, and that put sugar around the rim.
Yeah. And Cuervo Gold, and
Cuervo Gold, okay.
And sometimes they'll do a double shot of Cuervo Gold, and you can get it on ice, or you can get it slush.
Yeah, I don't do the brown liquors, Daryl, because I found out Satan lives in the brown liquors.
Don't you blame Satan because you don't know how to hold your liquor.
Brown liquor makes you fight. Brown liquor makes you fight everybody.
I don't do nothing gold. I don't do nothing brown, because Satan lives there. I don't fool with that stuff.
Shoot, brown liquor makes you fight everybody. You be fighting everybody.
I don't know if I know Daryl knows this story, but there's one time I was out one night, because we went to there's a nice, really upscale place in LA called the Viceroy. And so we would go to hang out after work at the Viceroy. That's where you get all of your, your black professionals, white professionals, everybody going there, right? So I don't really drink. I've never been like the drinker type. So my boss decided, okay, well, you gonna drink tonight. I said, okay. So he's ordering. The first thing he gave me, I think, was, well, we started with lemon drops.
Oh, Lord.
Then we went over to something called the Red-Headed Sluts. I'm just trying to tell you, this was my first experience. Now, I ain't drank nothing.
You was ready to fight.
Oh, listen here, Daryl. And he polished it off with Hennessy.
Oh, my God.
Right. So we started with lemon drops. This is how I learned you don't mix your alcohol. That was my first lesson to learn.
You don't mix dark and brown, light, white, clear liquor and brown. You never do that.
Listen here, sir. That man gave me everything under the sun. And I was sitting there going, oh, no. I went into the bathroom and I put both my hands on the side of the wall. And listen to me. When I tell you I went into a hiya and a Rosho Honda Lobo show, I say, God, you got to save me, because I am in trouble. First of all, because I had driven there, and I was like, oh my God, I was in trouble. I didn't throw up at the place, Lynn, but when I tell you I had to put my hands on the side of that wall and go before the Lord in a full prayer, because I was tore up.
You was promising God you'll never do it again.
I know, yes, of course I did. Then I walked out the place, and then my friends looked at me. Everybody's looking at me, and then this is all you heard: "Get him some water. Get him some water."
Yeah, because when you went outside and that fresh air hit you, you were done.
They said, "Get him some."
I don't know what it is about fresh air, but fresh air will do it every time. Everything be spinning, and then all of a sudden you get that whiff of fresh air to be like, "Oh, it's about to go down."
Listen, my boss told me. Let me tell y'all something. He told us up. That was the first time. Now this was I was older than him. He was younger, and for some odd reason, he just had this thing about. He really did sort of help me come out of my shell a little bit more. I will say that. That's true. He was younger than me. When I say way younger, my boss was, I think he was like 20-something, 27 maybe. And I was, I'm going to say 32-ish, 33-ish, around there. And when I tell you this white boy took us everywhere, when I say he took us everywhere around Los Angeles, and was like, okay, well, y'all are going to drink tonight. Y'all going to go out tonight. And we were like, because, I'm not that type of person. So I was like, okay, and he was the first person that ever took me to a gentleman's club, but he used it as this is a work meeting.
Tax right off.
Right. So we sitting there, and I said, this is why I say you don't go to them type of places about you doing any work. I don't care what nobody say. Ain't no work being done. They lying. They lying. They lying.
From now on, when you drink, before you go out to drink, eat you 2 slices of bread and take you 2 Bayer aspirin. You'll never have a hangover. You won't get sick on the stomach. Yeah. So the aspirin thins your blood, and the bread is like a sponge. It'll soak up all the alcohol. That way you won't be sick.
Well, that's normally why I try. That's why I normally try to eat.
I can't hear you. Whatever you said.
Can y'all hear me? No, I can hear me. Daryl, if you can't hear me, you got to go out and come back in.
You muted yourself.
No, I didn't. Can y'all hear me? Mary, can y'all hear me?
I can't hear nothing now. You take me off mute.
Well, my mic says it's working. Oh, Lynn says she can hear me.
Can't hear you.
Go out and come back in. Because if you can't hear me, because this happened to Vincent yesterday. Hey, Mary. She coming on back in. Mary, can you hear me? Mary. Oh, see, her mic ain't moving either. But I can see Daryl's mic. His mic was moving. Everybody say I'm good. Okay. Don't start me. Linda, I'm trying to get through this first cup of coffee. Stop messing with me. It's too early. Go out and come back in.
Okay. Can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you, Mary. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Yeah, I don't know. Mine kicked me out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Daryl. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think it's Mary because she dropped off and then
it straight up kicked me out.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure you eat 2 slices of bread and 2 Bayer aspirin.
That thing kicked me out. I said, get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me just tell y'all that was a first experience because y'all know I love my story times. So then the second time he decided to take me out, he took me to a place called holy cow, the Saddle Ranch. If you're in, no, it's not a strip club. It's a like a bar, but they have a mechanical bull.
Oh shoot.
I was just about to say, the bull places.
Did you fall off the bull?
I ain't riding no bull. I paid for some women to ride though.
Yes, indeed.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, that's a sight to see right there.
I done had a lot of fun at that daggum Saddle Ranch. That Saddle Ranch, I said, "Oh, this is the place for me." I was like, I love that Saddle Ranch, and they had one at Universal Studios in Los Angeles. So let me tell you, that was the first time I ever tried a Long Island iced tea.
Oh my gosh, man! Where you been, brother?
Let me tell you something.
He was in church.
Let me tell you something. Now I had came with some women that night, because I like to travel with beautiful things. So I came. So we got to this place. I'm not kidding. It's a true story. So, I'm drinking, I'm having fun, blah, 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 paying for women to ride the bull, do. Then all of a sudden, and this is almost like a private live, isn't it? I'm talking too much, aren't I?
Oh, you good? You good?
I'm telling all the stories. Wait a minute. So we having a really good time, and I get towed up. Now, my boss, I told you he's 20-something years old. He's probably got about $2,000 or $3,000 in cash on him. In cash. So I turn around and I see him hanging off the bar. He's literally hanging off the bar, like, trying to hold on, but he's sliding down to the, on the bar. So I said, oh my God, they're going to rob him in my mind because I've always cared about other people. That's just my nature, right? So I'm looking at my boss hanging on this bar. So I go up to him and I'm trying to get him together. Like, now I ain't toasted just yet. Right. So I'm sitting here trying to get my boss together. All of a sudden, I stand this white man up. This white man, finally, when he got up on his foot and got his footing back again, he took off across to the other side of the bar. I said, I didn't come over here to help you stand up so you can go get some more trouble, because I'm not going to follow you around this whole bar, right? So this fool went running off to the other side of the bar. I said, oh my God. Now, y'all got to keep in mind, for those of you that are new to this channel, I had my first alcoholic drink when I was 25. Like, I had never.
Gosh, man.
Well, you know that, Daryl. I've been untold you.
I know you told
that.
me, but it just, every time you say that, I'm like, gosh, man. Shoot.
So there was no alcohol that had ever touched these lips until I was 25 years old.
Not even the communion?
No, because we use grape juice. We was holy. What's wrong with you? We don't do that.
Jesus drank wine. He didn't drink no Welch's.
Well, I know that's true. And the Bible, the first miracle started with wine. And if y'all done read the whole book, you know the whole story ends with wine. Did you read the book?
That's right.
I'm just saying.
Turn water to wine. He ain't turned water to grape juice. He turned it to wine.
I'm just saying, if you read the book, the first miracle started with wine. And according to the text, the last one's going to end with wine. Just out our chair. If you read the book.
That's right.
So we do this Long Island iced tea. We still drinking these Long Island iced teas, right? No lie. It's real talk. And shout out to Penny. Penny, I love you. And let me tell you, listen, regardless of whether y'all agree with me, disagree with me, I want y'all to know I still love you. We don't all have to agree. I loves me some of you, all of you. I do. I love y'all. Y'all just don't really understand, but I truly do. Penny hit me up last night. She was texting. Penny was texting. I said, okay, Penny. I read Penny's text, and I agree with what Penny says, because there's something about myself personally. I've sort of bowed out of the political system. I don't like politics at all anymore. It's just a personal decision for me and my life. So I don't like politics. I just talk about things because I think we need to at least have a conversation. I bowed out. But anyway, I'm at the Saddle Ranch. I done got toe up again, y'all. These Long Island iced teas done put me out. So the woman that I was with, I have been trying to get with this chick forever. When I say forever, I mean forever. So I'm like, and first of all, I've never been like that kind of person to like drink till I'm just no good. But this particular day, anytime you out with when I was out with my boss, I knew I was going to be in trouble. So I was so toe up. If you understand Los Angeles and how we party in LA, they put a lot of heating lamps outside. So that particular day, I was so toe up. I'm sitting underneath this heating light. I done sat down in a chair. I done found me a chair. Now the chair is way outside by the bar when you go in. So I'm sitting there holding my head up. I'm yelling for the security. Security, because I know I'm in trouble. I didn't want nobody to find me in that condition. I'm yelling, security. So the man come over. I said, please, sir. I said, whatever you do, please, sir. Find them women that I came here with, because I do. They knew who the women was that I came with because they was fine as wine. I'm just saying. Because, look, when I show up, I show up. So I said, find them women I was with. Go find them women I was with. So I'm underneath this heat lamp. So when
who's on there baking?
Listen here, sir. I was praying to God. I wanted all them African angels. Arita, tata, pata, kata, kita, de. I needed everything. Listen here, Mary. I needed everybody to come get me. So they finally come over. Y'all know what I did? I laid on her back.
And went to sleep.
No. She had to walk on her tippy toes. Like I had to like walk on my tippy toes because she really couldn't like hold me up, you know. So I was like, I just tried to lay on her back enough so that, you know, when she walked, I could kind of lean on her a little bit more, because I was like, this is crazy. Like, I ain't never been in this kind of position before. And so we doing whatever we do. We get to the car, we go home, and the wonderful evening and the rest of the night is history. Now, let's move on. Let's move on. Great night. Great night. I got a million stories. They have another club, where they used to have one called Over the Moon. If y'all from LA and y'all watch this video, if you've been to Universal Studios, y'all know what I'm talking about. They had another club called Over the Moon. Now, Daryl, this was the funnest place I ever been. I said, this is the kind of club I could go to. because you're drinking. There's a guy on the stage playing the piano, but everybody from the club is giving him the songs to play. But because if you're a nerd like me, people is yelling out, here's a story, and the whole place goes up of a lovely lady, and then we just start singing, who was bringing up, because I'm a goofball like that. So we're singing the Brady Bunch while drinking. I was in heaven with Over the Moon, and I hate the fact that I think they closed Over the Moon down, but it was a great club. I kid you guys not. Shout out to the 71 of y'all that are watching. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. This is our trending topics night. We talk about whatever we want. Listen here. Listen here, Bishop Kim Grace. Don't be telling on me. This is out in the public. They don't know this. They don't know that story. They don't know that story.
I won't even tell my stories then if you think that was wild.
Now, I know your story was wild. Your stories were way wilder than mine because you was a bouncer.
Yes, at a strip club. At a strip club. I've seen people have heart attacks, everything.
My ancestors was. I had a good line of alcoholics in my family.
Crowd, so I'll just be quiet.
No, that's all right. We'll talk about what we want to talk about over here. This is my juke joint. Go ahead, Mary. You finish your story, and then I'm coming back.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I guess my alcoholic ancestors did me right because I never had any of those stories. I can mix my liquor. I can do all the things, other things, and I'd be like, it'd be like a buzz to me, and I just be like, la 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 la. My ancestors gave me that good, strong alcoholic genetic makeup.
Look, you light skinned. That's probably why you can't get
Shut
drunk.
up.
I'm just saying, you light skinned.
Them the ones to be fighting.
No, but see what happens is them light folks, they can drink that dark liquor. It don't affect them. When
they get to fighting.
I could drink dark, light, all of it.
Shoot.
I can mix because I definitely would be like, I'll start off with some wine, go to some liquor. Oh shoot! I'll start off with wine, go to liquor, go back to wine.
Do bourbon? I ain't fooling with them.
I think Daryl's on a delay. Daryl, you on a delay?
No, I hear you fine.
Oh, because you can't hear Mary. I think that's the problem because she was talking and you guys keep talking on top of one another. That's why
I can't hear her at all.
Oh, that's why. Okay, so when she starts talking, I'm gonna have to stop you so that way you know y'all talking at the same time. All right, but go ahead, finish Mary, and then I'm coming to you, Daryl.
No, I was just saying, like, I don't have any of those nights where it's like a blackout night. I've never blacked out once, never thrown up. Even like on my 21st birthday, like, my sister was looking at me like, you're still drinking? And I was like, yeah.
Well,
but they got nothing to do with being light-skinned.
But what I learned, though, women, y'all have a very high tolerance. Some of y'all have a very high tolerance for alcohol. Some of these dudes some women can try to outdrink a man, and it depends on the person because I've seen it in both ways. I've seen some women try to outdrink a man and be laid on the floor. And then I've seen some situations where a man is trying to outdrink a woman and he be laid on the floor. So it just really depends on the situation. Now, let me say this to Bishop Kim Graves, because Bishop Graves, I think I told y'all that story in the private chat. I don't think I told y'all that story in the public. But if you want to hear that story, you need to get a membership to this channel because I am not telling that story in the public.
That was a good story. I can't remember if it was private or public either, but it probably was in the private. But that was hilarious.
I am not telling that story in the public, because you know how the Saints is, and it's not happening. Listen, Penny's right. Penny's like, you got to be careful in LA, which is really, really true though. When you drink it in LA, you really got to be. You got to be really careful. Somebody said, how old are you? How old are you? Your stomach will start letting you know at a certain point. Well, it's true, but you know what? Two things. So my mama told me a story. My mama says this stuff. I don't know if this is true. My mother says, Marcellus, when you was like 4 or 5 years old, you used to climb into the refrigerator and pop open my beers because my mama used to drink a beer. I think it was called Old Milwaukee.
Old Milwaukee.
Or I think it was Old Milwaukee or like at some point she was doing Old Milwaukee and then Miller, and then she moved on to the Busch drink, the Anheuser-Busch. What's that stuff called? Budweiser's. Yeah. And so, but my mama said I used to do that at 5. Now, I don't have any recollection of that because I was a kid, but what I will tell you is this. I don't remember that at all. maybe I was too drunk to remember. I don't know.
I mean, my uncle, he was telling us recently a story about how he would go
So
down to get my grandma, get his mama's beers, and he would sip a little bit off of it when he would come back from the store.
Right. Go ahead, Daryl. Go ahead.
So I was the bouncer at the door, and it was this preacher that was trying to deliver everybody from coming in the club. He was out there. Oh, he had his little tracks. He was passing them out. He was preaching. And one night, old preacher man came up in the club and got him a table dance, and he wasn't preaching no more. Next thing I know, he was the biggest spender in the club.
Well, that's called living in your authentic truth and self, because that's who he was. And a lot of these people that preach against things are because they've never lived it or had a life experience. Now here's where I'm gonna get a little deep here for a second. I had to go through those experiences, I feel, so that I could identify with people who had those experiences. So when I talk to people about those experiences, I can come from an authentic place and telling it ain't what you think it is, and it ain't cracked up. I think it's fine. I think as long as you do everything in moderation. That's why the Bible says that we're not supposed to be drunk with wine. The Bible doesn't tell you that you can't have wine, but it says we're not supposed to be drunk. And I think if your family has a history of alcoholics like mine does, you have to be very careful that you don't lean into that. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't drink until I was 25, because I was too afraid I was going to become what I had seen. And so I had made a decision. I was like, oh, no, I ain't drinking nothing. But then again, I started drinking and I said, oh, I like this. And that's one of the reasons why. Let me tell you something. I don't lie about it. When you listen to me, if I want to relax and I need a good way to relax, I'm going to have me a Cadillac margarita with no salt. That relaxes me. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not going to be out here like the saints and lying, because many of your pastors and preachers drink wine. They just lie about it.
Yes, they do.
I don't lie about it. What's up, being beautifully honest? It's open mic Friday. You know what it is. So what's up, Daryl?
What's going on, y'all?
I'm going to get out of here because I got to get back on the grill.
All right, Daryl.
All right, Daryl.
Bye, Daryl.
What's up, Daryl? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. It's Friday. How you doing, Mary?
I'm good. How are you, Daryl? We over here just reminiscing about back in the day.
I know, right? I ain't even got to the topics yet. We 32 minutes in.
I gotta tell y'all this. So this year is my class, high school class reunion. So it's our 20th class reunion coming up. So they did like a little reunion roundup yesterday. And I hopped in the Zoom, and it was like 8 of them in there. And they started talking about reminiscing about the past, and started literally talking about dating and all this stuff. And I was just listening to them, and I was just like, yeah, I thought we was just saying hi. Y'all literally living in the past. I'm out. I said, I'll see y'all at the reunion. So, but it was good seeing them, but also at the same time, I was like, wow, I'm so far away from that. They still speak in 2005, 2006, and I'm.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's how it was for me last year when I did because I was our student body president. Hold on real quick. Let me shut this door.
And that's true though. Penny says, listen, this is true. People really make really bad decisions when drunk. A shot of Patron never hurt nobody. Now, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna say that out loud. I'll say that for another day. Penny, y'all better make sure y'all keep y'all membership. Because look, let me tell you something. Y'all can say what you want to say, but go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
No, I mean, Mary talking it's good to see people living good, but at the same time, it's like being stuck in the past is really sad to see.
Well, I mean, even Christians, sometimes we can get stuck in the past. We stuck, because I hate to hear the saints. Oh, I remember when the saints in the move of God.
That drives me nuts.
Oh, Lord, I remember when the Spirit. Listen, people hate the fact that when I show up, I go, church is what you make it. If the Spirit isn't here, it's because you didn't bring him with you, and you don't have the Spirit. So if all of this stuff is going on that you're talking about, but here's another thing. We're just like the children of Israel. This is what goes on Fridays. We digress. We're just like the children of Israel. We're so nostalgic. We always long to go back to what's familiar to us, when a lot of times what was familiar to us wasn't actually a good thing. Because when God brings you out of something, right? And you have a longing to always going back to what's familiar. Some of you, that's why every time you break up with your new man, you go back to the old man, because the old man is familiar. Oh, Lord, who am I talking to? I don't know. Y'all do it all the time. I see you because you so scared of the. Oh Lord, don't let me start talking. Okay, somebody change the subject. Mary,
Right, hush your mouth, hush your mouth, hush your mouth. But yeah, because that's how it was. So last year when we were planning our 20-year reunion, there was only like 4 of us on the committee. But like once we got to the actual event and we were like doing our initial little happy hour and meet and greet, I was just like, really, guys, this is just, and like you never want to go in feeling like, because to me, I'm like, okay, I've been following them a little bit on social media. You felt like mostly everyone elevated or something.
Right.
And then you get to the reunion and it's just like, okay, it, not that it was disappointing, but it was just one of those things where it's like, man, I thought we all grew up. Because, we're like, we think, our generation doing what, like, yeah, we all doing this, we all doing, man. Oh, it was so disappointing.
Some of them is stuck in a rut. Yeah. Some of them, some of them can only talk about the past because they've never made any new experiences in life. They've never gone anywhere. They've never, and let me just say this so I can go on and get myself in a whole lot of trouble. That's why you'll have a lot of people on the internet trying to floss and pretend to be something that they're not. Let me explain something to you. When you've had a good life, you don't have to brag about your life.
No.
Because it's just your life. Exactly. It's just your experience. You know what I mean? If you've done well, if you've done some great things in your life, you don't have to go around bragging. That's why I love to watch people start trying to brag on the internet, because that lets me know you ain't never had nothing.
Life.
It just lets me know the complete opposite when it comes to you.
Yeah.
Right. And but side note, let's normalize like being present, as the kids say, IRL, in real life. Like people be like, oh, I haven't seen you post, I haven't seen this, that, and the other. And I'm like, y'all, I'm alive. I'm over here loving on my God babies, just having a good old time. I don't like, I was part of the millennials who still went outside, did stuff, hung with friends and family. And then, yes, I have my cell phone, but I'm like, I be ignoring my phone. Like, these God babies are so much fun and just like so full of personality. I'm like, no, I'm enjoying real people. Like, go touch grass. Go really fellowship with your people.
Right. You waiting on to get to heaven to stick your feet into the sands of time when you got all of these beaches around you, and you can go stick your feet into the sands of the earth now and go spend some time on the beach, enjoy yourself. And I don't mean showing up to the beach like you first apostolic with them long jean dresses on. Because let me tell you something. I'm sorry. I just have to be myself. You're never going to get married if you think that showing a thigh or a leg or something is going to toss you into hell. That just don't make sense. And first of all, we know what you look like under that dress anyway, because we done already pictured it in our mind. We done used our imagination. We know exactly if you fit a certain way, exactly what that looks like when you're normally, some of us know what it looks like when you have no clothes on. I'm just saying, we done already been there. Okay, we done already been there. So you ain't stopping nothing. Go live your life is all I'm trying to say. Go have some fun, have a whole life. Stop all of this foolishness, because sometimes, and this is why I like Fridays, because Fridays I just get to, we get to talk. Y'all doing too much. The saints be doing too much. And this is one of the reasons why so many people go through that. My cousin made me cry one day. She really did. I ain't gonna lie. Because I was whining about something in life. And she said, Marcellus, that's because you done spent your whole life in the church. She said, that's why you ain't married now. I started crying. I ain't lying. I was like, because when I started to think about it, because they told us if you live right, if you live holy, if you walk a certain kind of way, this was going to be your life, and you was going to get married and everything was going to be hunky-dory, and Jesus was you're going to be overwhelmed with blessing. I said, and here I am at this age. And I was like, wait a minute. And that's one of the reasons why can't nobody tell me anything about no living no life at this point in time in life. Because some of that stuff that we was taught was foolishness. There's a difference between faith and foolishness. And a lot of this stuff that we had was foolishness. Absolutely.
And then for a bunch of them just to be bragging about, what age they got married at or how long they've been married and but they put their wife or they put their husband through hell. I honestly love the fact that I waited to live life and waited till my late 30s to get married. Like I actually, and of course, like I have examples of both where I've had friends that got married with children right out of high school or whatever. But I mean, for me, I feel like it's never too late. But for the people who, like you said, you were so ingrained to, these are my marching orders, church.
Right.
And then you're like, wait, I should have been mingling and I should have been, having more life experience just in terms of getting to know people, frolicking in the gentleman's club.
Right. But okay, well, let's just
brown liquor.
No. Let's just tell the truth. Most of the saints, we do our sin in church. All of the females that you doing and you hanging out with, you doing the stuff in church while talking about you lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. You lying to yourself. Because everybody that's doing something, especially if you're in the church, you doing it with the people in the church. Because you ain't going to the club. Because normally when you do go to the club, then people take one look at you and be like, you do not belong here.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've ever had that experience. I went to a club one time, then people was making fun of me. And I don't know. I know it was the annoying, but then people was like, you need to get up out of here. They told me flat out, like, you need to go. I must have been killing the vibe. They say you need to go.
All these like little pictures. Something doesn't belong here.
Right.
It's an odd one out.
Right. One of these things is not like the other. Welcome, being beautifully honest, to the platform. Shout out to you. What's up? What do you want to add to this hodgepodge of a Friday conversation?
What's up, Marcellus, Mary, Darielle? Oh my gosh, I was making some lunch for my husband and I was laughing. Oh my God, y'all had me cracking up.
But it's the truth.
It is the truth. But I agree. You all were talking about like the high school reunion and how it's like some people, they really have not lived any current and no like plans for the future. So they've lived in the past. And that is so true. That is so true. I didn't even go to my high school reunions, any of them. And I don't have any regrets about it. My husband asked me one time, he was like, don't you want it? I said no. And it's not because I felt like I was better than anybody else, but I mean, I was never like in any cliques like that. And I didn't really keep up with anyone after high school. I've been living my life and I've been, doing things when it comes to my family and business and entrepreneurship and things like that. And quite frankly, a number of the people that I knew about back in those days, I didn't see them doing anything when, you started getting on Facebook and you would see people. It's like, I don't want to catch up with these people. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing that I know. So I 100% agree.
Right.
With
And
that.
for the most part, it's like we all we stay in contact with. Like for me, it was like the obligatory. Well, you were student body president. Like, yeah, right. But I didn't go to year 5, 10, or 15. But when they did 20, I said, okay, let me go on and show up. And I'm like, well, this could have been a Zoom meeting. like all this work.
Right.
Hey, Cruiser.
Well, Miss Cruiser said she went to the club and ended up learning how to DJ and doing club promotions. Hey, that's a business.
Oh, that's
entrepreneurial stuff.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, you never know what you're going to learn. There is always a skill. There is always a trade. I'm just saying, go ahead and learn it. I wish I could DJ. I would be one of them people up on TikTok. That's what I should have did when I was doing my TikTok, and I should have been a DJ.
Yeah.
Well, all the clubs that I went to, I learned so much stuff and Daryl makes a lot of fun of me a lot of times because a lot of stuff that people say I don't really have a reference for. So when and I'm not trying to be overly spiritual or churchy or anything, it's really the truth. It's my life. I don't know half the time when people be saying certain things, it goes right over my head. So I'll have to like stop and ask, and then that's when everybody starts making fun of me. But it's just, I kind of slipped in the club and slipped right on out.
Well, it's not about being overly spiritual because your life experiences are your life experiences. I was never a club person, never was. And you don't have to be a church person to not be a club person. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you're either in the church or in the club. No, maybe I just like being home.
Right. Go ahead, Darian.
And also you can be sheltered because like I grew up in the church too, but my dad was hood. On the east side of Detroit, and he grew up around that, and he was like, "I don't want that in front of my kids," because he saw that at an early age, like 6 years old. My grandmother hosting cabarets and rent parties and getting the liquor. He told me when he was 6, he went to the liquor store, and they didn't have credit back then, so they ran a tab. So my grandmother had a tab at the Davis drugstore, and my 7-year-old dad had a little wagon of nothing but Hennessy, Jack Daniels, all that. I'm like, they let you. He's like, it was the 60s. He's like, because anybody else, they would get arrested for letting children walking around with liquor. And he's like, he should take that up to the house for the rent. He's in the cabaret. And he's like, I never want y'all to see that. But
Dariel, you got to think about your father's generation too. That generation, our parents, and then they was more or less do as I say, not as I do. Because they would be doing stuff, and we came from a generation where children, if adults was in the living room, we weren't allowed to be in the living room.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
You're not supposed to be in grown folks' conversations,
right?
Business, yeah.
Nowadays they got the kid leaning on their hip, they got the drink in their hand, talking crap. And I grew up in it.
You ain't lying. Oh my gosh, my cousin. When I was just visiting my cousin last week, her daughter is. Oh gosh, I think, did she just say she was turning 14 or 15, drinking a cut water?
What?
And I'm sitting here, I was like,
okay, here we go. What's a cut water?
It's like it's a new alcoholic beverage in a can, kind of like a light flavored.
That's 12%.
But they be.
Oh my God.
And then she gonna make sure she made sure because our uncle was there talking about, I only let her drink around me, but she has a good head on her shoulders, and she really does. Like, she's on her way to FAMU, and I can't wait. They don't want her to go to FAMU. I said, please let her get up out this little country town. Please let her go.
You know what my mama let me drink in front of her? Her leftover coffee. That was it. You can have this leftover coffee that I didn't drink that doesn't got cold because I wanted to have coffee. That's what my mama let me drink. Now what Miss Cruiser says is true. They call in the South, in Winston-Salem and in North Carolina, from my life experience, they called it a liquor house. My father owned a liquor house, and my stepmother owned a liquor house. So everybody in the neighborhood came to the liquor house to go to drink at my father's house. Now, I don't know if I told y'all this, but we had a jukebox in our living room. So when I came, Dariel, I thought I told you these stories. You should know this. This is a private chat.
No, you told me a little bit. You didn't tell me about the
My father and stepmother owned a liquor house. So when I would come home from school at the latter part of the school year, because I told y'all I live half the time with my mom and half the time with my daddy, and that's one of the reasons why if you underestimate me, niggas, you'll get your tail whooped. But anyway, so I'm living with my daddy. So at the end of the school year, I'm with my dad. Now my dad he worked for the city, so he made really good money. Even though we lived in government housing, my father and stepmother lived in government housing too, and that was against the rules.
Yeah, I was about to say that was illegal back then.
They were married and lived in a government housing, and we used to have to take my father's clothes, shoes, and stuff and move it to the neighbor's house when they would have their inspection.
Like, you know, on Claudine.
Like on Claudine. I was thinking the same thing.
It's amazing how Black people got away with so many stuff, but we had to do these things in order to make it. I mean, seriously, we did, right? So I went into come home from school, man, that music, and my father used to love Juicy every time. Every time I came home from school, every time that darn song was playing, I'd be like, Dad, you know this is your favorite daggum song.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I don't know what it is about, but because like my dad, he had everything. So he started with, the vinyls. He went the 8-track. Then he done got his, he upgraded to this big Panasonic CD player that held, I don't know, like 20 different CDs or something in it. But every time my friends would come over, they would be ready to see what he was about to play. And he would be in his room, but it would be turned to the max. All of a sudden, you just hear, dun, 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 dun. And then my dad screamed, "You gotta keep your head up." I was like, "Oh Lord."
Well, speaking of, now listen, my auntie who went to Mercy Seat Holiness Church, who was pastored by Bishop Rice, who happened to be the first cousin to Pastor Shirley Caesar. He had a church called Mercy Seat, right? Now, my auntie was mean as a dick, super religious.
Of course.
I mean,
mean too.
Yeah, mean as a dick. And so one day, and y'all heard me talk about her one time. My cousin was mad and came up on the screen because I was talking about my auntie, right?
Yeah.
But this is a true story. This is all true. I swear this stuff is true. So one day we was going over to her house, 5109 Britt Drive. I've never forgotten that address because she was the only person in the family that owned the house. Her phone number stayed the 7767429. I ain't gonna give you the area code, but that was her phone number. She was the only person that never changed her phone number. If you went to jail, that was the number that you dialed. You dialed by auntie because she was the one that was gonna answer the phone. So here we go. True story. So I go over her house one day. I hated to go to her house. Because first of all, she was mean and it was boring. It was just boring. And I was like, I don't want to be over here. It's just boring. So, but this day I happened to go over there and she was playing "Who's Making Love to Your Old Lady While You Were Out Making Love." I walked in that house. I thought I had went to an amusement park. I say, we at the wrong place. I said, I know my auntie ain't playing this music. I found out, as saved as she was, she loved her some blues.
Right.
And some of that old stuff, right? So I said, auntie, I said, how you listening to this music? Shut up. That's all they told you to do. Shut up. They didn't answer none of your questions. That's what they tell you. Shut up. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. And this is one of the reasons
don't come in here questioning me. This is my house. This her juke joint. Okay.
Them older saints did not answer nothing. They answered none of your questions. They told you go somewhere and sit down and shut up, and they never answered nothing. Never answered nothing.
I mean, at least it was just music playing, and it wasn't her and somebody.
Oh, but she had her somebodies, because I found that out later too. She had her somebodies.
Well, yeah.
You know, someone said,
they all did. But sometimes if you accidentally stumble across it and you be like, don't tell nobody such and such came creeping out my house.
Listen here. There's so many stories. Some of these stories I have to say for the private chat, but I'm serious to tell y'all. It's a trip. But God used all of these people to give me a great sense of balance. I honestly have to tell you, because my mama wasn't a Christian, but I had to play spades in order to get my allowance. That's why I'm a very good spades player, because the church said we couldn't play cards. We weren't supposed to do none of that stuff. But I was still doing it because my mother wasn't a Christian. And my mom said, oh, you're going to learn how to dance. My mama said, because the only way you're going to get your allowance is you got to know the latest dances and you got to come and dance in front of me and my friends. So we be up there, me and my sister, earning our allowance.
Entertainment.
We slide across the floor.
Go on and do that little dance. Go on and do that little dance.
But that's how we were raised. And even though I was in church, I was like, okay, but that's the situation. But see, here's the problem. And this leads us into our conversation. I don't know how long we're going to go today and how much time y'all got. But here we go. This leads us to our hot topics on today. Talking about living one way in front of the camera and living another way behind the camera. Here's the thing.
Good.
When you see somebody like, and we're going to start off with Daystar, and we're going to start off with Joni Lamb, because this has been a hot story going across the internet. I didn't really talk a lot about Joni Lamb.
All right.
From my understanding, her husband that she had when she passed away was married to another woman for 20-something years. And all
30 something, I think.
Well, almost 30-something years.
Crazy.
He was the counselor to Joni and her then husband Marcus when they were going through their yes, Dariel, that's what I found out in my research. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was their counselor, and then he turned around and ended up marrying the woman that he was counseling of his supposedly best friend, because him and Marcus was supposed to be best friends. And they sent their whole little congregation, and these people is still talking about it to this day because nobody will take accountability, because Christians, we live one thing in front, and then behind the scenes, we're doing something else. And that's why people don't understand. I'm fine with telling you guys the truth about who I am and what I do, because I don't hide anything. I ain't trying to hide nothing. Now, there's a couple of these stories I won't tell in the public. Thanks, Bishop Kim Graves. And of course, she's going to have to comment at the time I'm saying. Thank you, Bishop Kim Graves. But I'm just saying. Yeah. But so what would you say to that? I'm going to start off with you, Darielle. So living in front of the camera, but doing something else behind the camera. What do you say?
I'm shocked about this news about Johnny Lamb. I'm like, what school did that guy go to? The same school that Cheyenne Bryant did? Because I'm like, what kind of code and ethics is happening right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I kept my mouth shut about the Lamb family because it's a serious issue. Like I said, the children have lost their mom and dad within the 5 period.
Right.
And that's a lot. And I just hope that there was some closure before she passed away. And they also are being really, really touch and go about her health and how she passed away.
She had cancer.
Cancer? That's what they're saying? Okay.
That's what they're saying.
65 years old and you out like this.
Well, it was very quick. I think that she was trying to use some alternative methods to heal herself. So I think that was part of the issue. Coming to you, Mary, living one way in front of the camera, living another way behind the camera. What say you?
The typical saying what's always done in the dark will
Mary,
come to light. Someone is gonna be. Oh,
can you hear me? Oh, yeah. You got a little bit. You sound like Max Hedren. You might want to start over.
Oh, hold up. I'll be right back.
Okay. You sound good now.
I think it's fine now.
Yeah, you're fine. Just start over. Okay, living one way in front of the camera, living another way behind the camera. What say you, being beautifully honest?
Well, I've been paying attention to the Joni Lamb story. I haven't talked about it at all. I've never once even mentioned it over here. But that stuff is crazy. If you listen to the backstory and the history of everything, like you said, her now widow was best friends with her, with her husband who died. And this creep, I'm going to call him creep because that's what I believe he is. My opinion. He was doing counseling for so-called Christian counseling for couples and trying to help them to stay in their marriage. And I feel like a lot of the stuff was manipulative because I feel like he used a lot of things that he made up to make it like the woman was at fault for what was going wrong in the relationship, when more times than not, it was the wife who was seeking help to save their marriage.
Right.
And a lot of stuff was sex centered. So he talked a lot about sex and how important it is for sex and sex and sex and sex, right? And just to dump his wife that he claimed he craved and looked into her eyes and gazed into her green eyes and all this other bull crap that he was talking about. And then as soon as Marcus Lamb dies, I got to get out of this marriage. This woman has been terrible and all this other stuff. It's like, hold up. I thought this was like the love of your life and you've been with this one for like almost 30 years. And now you're going to get with one of your former, I wouldn't say patients, but
one of your former. It is like one of your former clients. You going to one of your clients.
It's crazy, and they were saying that his ex-wife was begging him to stay, and he just, oh my God. So hearing this stuff now, it's so deep, it's disgusting, and
it is,
and all under the guise of God, of course,
Right.
It's highly inappropriate. It's unprofessional and it's unchristian. And this is why, going back to this and the Cheyenne Bryant topic. Yeah. This is why accreditation and like ethical codes are important in these type of fields. Just because you are a Christian doesn't mean you qualify to do marriage counseling. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you know what it is to build relationships with couples. and this is where going to a sound individual. And I'm getting to the point where I ain't talking to anybody in my church about certain stuff until I feel comfortable in saying that, because I'm just like, why? What is it to you, and how is this?
Well, I think one of the things that as time goes on, all of us are learning is we have to be somewhat guarded, especially around social media and all these types of things on who you befriend. Now, because of my personality, I just love people. So y'all hear me, I'm on here telling y'all all my business, but I don't care you talking about my business, because I'll tell you my business before you tell my business. So I'm that kind of person. So it doesn't really bother me, but it's like we have to be very, very careful. We really do, especially when we're telling the most vulnerable things about ourselves. Because so many people in life, including your family, including your spouses, they will turn around and weaponize what you tell them. And one of the saddest places to be in life is to tell somebody something that about your vulnerability, and for them to turn around and weaponize what you have said, especially as a man, because I have to tell you, if you repeat what I tell you and it's something that I told you to keep between you and us, I will never speak to you again. Normally, I will just never speak to you again. And that's just the truth. And
then you also have to be direct in friendships too, like put boundaries up as well, because some stuff friends shouldn't even know. Like I had one of my close friends, she was married and she's divorced from the person. Now, we all knew that he was no good, but she was just stuck in her ways, like going back and forth. I remember one night she called me at midnight to just talk. And I'm like, why are you calling me at midnight? I don't like when women do that. Don't do that. What do you? He's not here. Said that's not the point. Don't do that. And I told her, hang up the phone now. Don't call me at this time. This is dangerous.
You better believe it is.
Yes, it is dangerous, because you're a married woman. Why are you calling a single man?
Because you called me at night, you want to ride the white horse. I'm over here saying, you're going to
I was about to
don't
say,
call me at no late at night.
Else. Calling?
No, but you called me. Yeah, I shut that down immediately. She apologized later on after everything separated. Like, no, don't do that.
I don't play that, Darielle. Don't call me at no late at night. Now, honestly, if I call you late at night, me personally, well, first of all, I don't call any married woman. And if you notice, I'm very guarded on how I speak to married women versus how I speak to a single woman. I speak to married women different because I never want their husbands to feel like I'm being disrespectful to them.
Absolutely.
Because as a man, you have to be balanced. You got to understand that. You're speaking to somebody else's wife. This is not his girlfriend. This is his wife. There's certain things you just can't say. And you have to watch what you say.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the scripture, I believe, in the Bible, where it talks about don't let your good be evil spoken of. You could have good intentions, but you don't know what other people are going to try to put on that. So you just don't even give it that. So yeah.
I'm very careful in that. I'm very careful with that. It's something that I have always done. I've always done that. Now let me go over here. So because we said talking about living one way in the front of the camera and living another behind the camera. Let me just deal with your boy Brian Carn while I got this in my head. I'm sorry, I have to go here. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I got to live here.
Yeah.
Brian Carn is when he preaches now, I want y'all to understand something. He doesn't preach to save souls. He preaches to go viral.
Exactly.
The only reason why he says what he says is because he knows he wants to agitate the vlogger so people will continue to talk about him. Yes. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up, because I'm about to go on a Brian Carn fast. As soon as he go to prison, we're gonna try to not talk about him for 9 straight months. That's gonna be. As soon as he go into jail, y'all, we're gonna treat him like we do Voldemort. We don't talk too much about Larry Reed anymore over here. We're going to treat Brian Carn the same way. Let me go. I didn't see you, Mary. We're going to treat him the same way. So here's what I want to say about this. Brian has a video. I don't know if he was talking about Larry Reed, but he said something that made me think he was, but this might not be Larry. He said he was having a conversation with somebody who had to explain why they needed to be friends with him. And shout out to Joy 105, because Joy 105 posted the video, right? And shout out to Joy 105.
Yeah, they've been posting them up.
Let me tell you something about Joy 105. we all probably need to go ahead and send Joy 105 a cash app because they forever keeping us talking about stuff, aren't we?
Right.
And,
Yeah.
I don't even know how these people find the time to make all these videos because I be busy. Like, because once we get off here, I got to finish making the stuff for our class and all that stuff. I'd be like, how does Joy 105 do this? But they must have some people helping them. But anyway.
They're the ops. I'm going to say it. They're the ops.
So it's like this, Darielle. He says, "Oh, I don't want no Nicodemus friends." And then he hung on the Nick and then started trying to say Nicodemus friends instead of just saying he don't want no nigga friends. He playing with the words, right? And that's another reason why I don't like the Saints. Just say nigga. Yeah. I get tired of that foolishness. We all grown. So, but it made me think because of the way he said it, it made it sound like he was talking about the conversation because Larry had went over there, him and that Genesee Warren girl to support him.
Oh, was Robbie Warren there too? Because I could have sworn I saw Robbie in there.
Nah, if Robbie Warren was in there, that whole place would have blew up. They probably got a picture of Robbie on the in the lobby. As soon as y'all see this,
escort him out.
Look, they really would have busted out a hi-ya if Robbie was up in there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a trip.
Somebody said, answer this. Did Joni take Doug out of the will? They said she did, Bishop Kim Graves. Now, one of y'all made a point. I want to go back to this Joni Lamb thing because I think this is really crucial to talk about. Doug Weiss was the counselor because when Marcus was in the 7-year affair with another woman, he counseled them. That's how he knew all their business.
Yeah. That is so dangerous.
Now, being beautifully honest, that is the part right there.
Yeah. Yep. That's spot on. Hit the nail right on the head.
Lord,
he's like those Republicans in MAGA who've been planning Project 2025 for the last 40 something years.
Yeah.
He
had his plans in place and he knew he was eventually going to get what he wanted. So yeah.
Right. I just thought that was hilarious. And when we talk about living one way in front of the camera and another, Brian Carter's gonna always come to my mind. Now
wild color suits like he's a bag of Skittles.
Right. Now let's talk a little bit about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant just here. Because you notice now there's a couple of people now that's speaking up on her behalf.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to even talk about that yet, but that's just
I'm just saying, people are saying, the degrees don't really matter, and this stuff don't matter. I see you revving up, Darielle. Go ahead.
The people that are defending her are either clout chasers, influencers, problematic jackasses. I'm gonna keep it above. Because anybody that is sound mind and professional, everything that she did was ridiculous. Did you see Torre's response?
I did. It was excellent.
Masterful response.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Masterful response to what.
And I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did
that as well. It is clear.
Yep, he got her good and
well. It is clear what she was doing was a grift. What she was doing was a hustler mentality, because every time someone would challenge her, the only thing she would do was to buck up and be gutter. Not just with him, there was other instances about that. So for anybody, and I saw Claudia Jordan, because she's cool with her, saying, well, it's all good. No, it isn't all good, Heifer. It's not good. You're playing with people's minds right now.
Absolutely.
This is a serious situation, because every psychiatrist has a code of ethics and moral ambiguity to respect the human consciousness and the human condition. That is a study of psychiatry and therapy.
All right. So, now, I appreciate that. Ladies, I'm going to come to you, but I got to ask Darielle this question. Since you brought up Claudia Jordan, as a man, what do you think of her? And when I say think of her, I mean just overarching as a woman. How do you view her? What are your thoughts on her?
I mean, because she's up there. Let me be
honest, Negro.
Be beautifully honest.
Just be honest.
I think that she tries hard to fit in, and that's the reason why her career is what it is.
Okay, let me ask the question this way then. Do you think she's really intrinsically a good person?
No.
Why not?
Because of her background. She is literally slipped and slithered her way to whatever place that she's in. I've never heard any good thing about her. Everything she touches burns.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Ladies, I'm sorry to go here. And please butt in case any of y'all want to say anything, because it's about to go to a whole nother space. Listen here. So, Darielle, when a man slips and slimes his way through society to get what he wants, he's not viewed like we view women. So my question, and the reason why I asked you this question is because genuinely, because there's certain vibes that I get from certain women, you know, even though I've never met them or anything, but I get the vibe from her that intrinsically she's a good person, but she's easily influenced.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She's just, as a person, I think she's actually a decent person. Because honestly, when that stuff fell down between TGIF, Claudia didn't have to come out and say nothing. Right. She didn't have to admit to the stuff that was really being done by, that, Funky Dineva was telling the truth and things like that. But she spoke up at the risk of being shunned in her career and other things. She actually spoke up and told the truth, which says to me intrinsically, that lady, down to the core of who she is, I think she's a good person. I really do. I think she's a good person. I just think she's easily influenced. There are a lot of people in life that are like that. The slipping and the sliming. And see, this is why Vincent almost made my head explode last night. Because in his private live last night, him and Levante was having, they was having a straight up squirrel conversation. It was going here, there, and everywhere. And I was trying to hang on until they got way too deep at the very end, and I fell asleep. But I'm gonna tell you this, I couldn't hang on no more. I don't understand something Vincent said, which is very true. The whole patriarchal system and how patriarchy has been built, and us as a society living under these patriarchal norms. Sometimes when we say things about women, sometimes we say those things with that patriarchal mindset, that when you're trying to, open up the dialogue and treat women in a respectful, balanced way, it can be harmful, when we address certain things. Because just like when we say the slippy, slimy thing, and that's what made me think of that, because Darielle, stuff that we say about us as men, if you attribute those things to women, they become a piece of garbage. But when you say it in reflection to us, we're just aggressive, we move through the world well. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And Claudia is one of those people where I'm just like, I like Claudia. I really do. I like Claudia.
Okay. Well, let me push back on that a little bit.
Okay, go ahead. And then after he pushes back, ladies, y'all jump in.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I'm
interested to hear. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to be rude, but I just feel like a woman of her caliber, it's one thing to have the patriarchy thrown at you to a degree. But there's a whole nother conversation when every major person that has interacted with you, it also reminds you a lot of Amanda Seales too. Every person that interacts with you has nothing but negative things to say about you outside from a professional standpoint, not about you as a person. This is different. I'm not talking about her as an individual. I'm talking about her as a professional that's been on the camera. Nobody has said anything good about her. She was on Ricky Smiley Morning Show. They threw her out in less than 3 months because they're like, I can't deal with this. Same thing with Jamie Foxx. 3 months in, gone. TGIF, gone. Everything she touches burns. So that's why I'm looking at you as a professional. What are you doing? And why is it that all these people have such a negative connotation thing to say about you? Now, as a person, she may be a kind, nice, gentle individual that may want to protect her friend in the midst of everything that's going on. But there's a whole other thing when you're protecting a friend, but then you are participating in a negative connotation about a woman who is grifting in a field that is all about decorum, accountability, and professionalism of the human condition. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay, he got deep, didn't he, y'all? I honestly believe I can't get to the applause button fast enough, but let me just tell you, I think that deserves an applause. He did a good, didn't he?
No.
Okay, Darielle.
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, this is not about her being a bad person. This is about her and her professionalism that has been problematic.
Wow, that was good. That was good, Darielle. That's why I call it Fist Fight Friday, girl. I
like that.
Yeah, he pushed back on that one. Good. I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, because that's kind of what I was thinking. I like her to an extent. When it comes to her professionalism, I don't think she has much. When it comes to, being a good friend to kiki with, yeah, because when she was on The Housewives, everyone knows that she was, one of the first ones to put Nene Leakes in her place and da-da-da-da-da. So it's like she's a good home girl. to have on your team. But very much to what Darielle just said, I don't see her as a great professionalist. And I don't know if she just hasn't found a way to merge that personality into a professional way that it doesn't come off. I don't know. It doesn't come off so aggressive or to the point where she's like super arrogant, because she comes off very arrogant in a lot of her professional settings.
Okay. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to come to you in a minute, Beautifully Honest, then we're going to move on.
No problem.
But let me say this. Do you think she comes across that way like most women when they come into corporate spaces where they feel like they have to be overly aggressive in order to make their way? Because I feel like I was dating this girl one time, this real talk. And she was doing things that I knew wasn't really her, because I told you, you get a vibe from people. I knew she was a really sweet girl, but I knew she was trying to behave in a manner that wasn't her. And it became a turnoff to me. And I was trying to get her to just be herself, because I was like, I don't know why you trying to be like this. This isn't even who you are. You're a church girl, just like I'm a church dude. Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, just be yourself. And I feel like sometimes women go into spaces and places and they try to be overly aggressive because they feel like they got to get in there and fight. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not really
well, I mean, hey, that's as me, all my life I had to fight as a Black woman in corporate America. So no, I get that. And there is a fine balance between assertive, aggressive, and like balancing the confidence to let people know you're about business without trying to be, like without trying to talk down to them, and without trying to like sun them and make them seem like I'm more intelligent than you. It's like you got to play mind games with it, of course, but there's definitely a better way to do it. And I'm still, up and down with it and mastering it and trying to figure that out. But yeah, no, there is a certain amount of aggression you have to have, but you still have to like ego stroke a little bit. It is what it is, and I don't think she likes to ego stroke, but it's the nature of the beast in that, and I'm not in ego stroke, definitely not to the detriment of yourself, but there is it's a balancing act. It truly is a balancing act as a Black woman in corporate America, for sure.
Okay, I loved it. Go ahead, being beautifully honest, and then we'll move on. If you had something to add.
I love the way that Darielle broke it down and what
he took me down, didn't he? Didn't he take me down? He took my little thought and just shredded it. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like Darielle just has more information when it comes to Claudia and the moves that she's made in the industry, professional, working and different things like that. So no, I wouldn't say that. It's just he brought in a different perspective, and I love that, because I honestly haven't really heard a lot of men share their perspective about her. I've definitely heard a lot of women, and I will say when you hear a lot of women, it could come off as, which I don't agree with this, but you know how a lot of people, they feel like if a woman talks about another woman and it's not praising, oh, you're just jealous or you're just a hater. And you know what I mean? Right. So I loved hearing that perspective about her. I'll just say I agree with a lot of what was already said about her. I don't dislike her. I wouldn't say that she's in the space that she really could be, based on a lot of, like, somebody put in the comment section, in the wrong circle. I feel like she's not really been in the best circles of people, possibly throughout her career. And two, defending Cheyenne Bryant, that's her homegirl. So of course she's going to do that. She was with Cheyenne when Cheyenne was wearing that see-through dress at the Jeezy concert. You know what I mean? The picture, were in a group photo together. So she was there with her.
But I think, not to cut you off, but I think birds of a feather flock together. And I told y'all, I think, I think Cheyenne Bryant is just trying to find her a sponsor. Go ahead.
And Claudia's been recently talking about that too, because she's not had the best luck in relationships and things like that. So they both are in the same boat. to be honest with you.
But a lot of these women are, and I hate to say this, and then I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna say two things, and then we're gonna go to the next subject because I got a lot of stuff I really do want to push off for other people. First of all, Amanda Seales needs to be on medication. I'm gonna say this right now. If she's not on medication, she should be, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. She's too all over the place. And I think something is up there mentally. That's just me. And the reason, and I love her for her talking about Black people's issues and things, but sometimes I think she goes a little too far. And I think that, sometimes when she addresses things, it's a little bipolarish, if I can say. And so I think that's the concern. Now, I do like Amanda Seales. I just don't watch anymore because I feel like sometimes she's doing things to go viral instead of actually being relevant. You understand what I'm saying? And that's my issue with her. So, and I'm going to take this and let's move on because I want to one more thing to talk about here. I want to go to the Kevin Hart situation just for a second, y'all, because Funky Geneva actually made a statement in regards to Kevin Hart. And I think this is a tremendous mic drop. And I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on Funky Geneva's comments, and I'm using this for copyright reasons. Here we go, ladies.
Battling the fact that he made it into the club. He has a seat at the table, and for whatever it's worth,
hold on, we're gonna have to back it up.
Having a seat at the table, and
wait, let's go back.
Kevin Hart is battling the fact that he made it into the club. He has a seat at the table, and for whatever it's worth, it feels good having a seat at the table. And Kevin does not want to disrupt or disturb his access to being in the club and sitting at the table.
Shout out to Funky Geneva too, by the way. Let me just say this. My friend Brenda's gonna love that I'm saying this. My friend Brenda always she came to me, she called me one day, another story. Y'all know I got a million stories. Brenda say, have you ever heard of this guy, Funky Geneva? I say, no. Why is he funky? You know me. I say, why is he funky? So my friend, she was like, you need to find out about this guy, Funky Geneva. So I was watching this guy, and the first time I saw Funky Geneva, he was in a wig and had a full beard. And I was like, I'm not, I was like, nah, this ain't going, But I noticed that as he has gone through his experience with TGIF, he presents himself as himself. And I tend to like and listen to this Funky Geneva. I personally, and I've learned that this guy's very smart.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
He's a FAMU grad. He's a FAMU grad.
Oh, he's very smart. And so I said, the more I watched him, and I said, okay, I can listen to this Funky Geneva, but the guy in the wig, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be able to take that one.
He also has some problematic comments too.
Okay, I was about to say that. Multiple things, can be true.
Okay,
right, exactly. That's why I said, as of lately, he's been doing good. As of lately,
he called that beautiful girl Chloe Bailey ugly, and I don't
like that, so y'all can tell me all the stuff in a minute, because let's get through this. I promise. The only reason why I stopped it is for copyright reasons. Okay, let's go.
And that is why Kevin Hart found it very difficult to condemn the joke, because Kevin, on the back end, that would have satisfied Black people. Even if you would have said this, the joke was distasteful, and honestly and truthfully, I wish it wouldn't have been attached to my roast. You wouldn't have had to go in no more detail. That would have been enough. A hard line in the sand that let people know, number one, you realized that the joke was distasteful. Number two, that you did not like it. So many people are focused on Kevin Hart's response. Kevin Hart, you lost way before your response. You lost when you let them white boys get too comfortable with you, and when you got too comfortable with them. The reality of the situation, Kevin, and the reason why I'm looking at you sideways now, the real question that needs to be asked, and the real situation that you have got to reconcile inside of your soul, Kevin Hart, is how am I, Kevin Hart, moving in these streets that them white people felt comfortable enough to do that at my roast that I was producing with my name on it? That's the real question you need to be asking yourself. And that's the real question the Black community need to be asking you, Kevin Hart. Brother, that's some sad shit. And that right there, that level of introspection and soul searching is going to cut far deeper than any backlash that come from your response. Kevin, like seriously, bro, how are you moving that these white folks felt that comfortable in this political climate with all of the racial tension that's going on in America right now? How are you showing up in the spaces that these white folks felt that comfortable to do that shit, knowing that they'd have no repercussion and essentially your full support? God damn, Kevin.
That was his deal. What say you all? And anybody, y'all can start off. And y'all start, because I talk all the time. What do y'all think of that statement?
I agree with him. I agree with him. I don't agree with everything that he says, but who does? But I'm just saying
Mhm.
the thing I will say when it comes to his statement, say the statement, but don't even say it like you're addressing him directly, because Kevin Hart will never listen to it. He said right there on the Breakfast Club when whatever the chick's name is, forgetting it all. Laura, yeah,
yes.
Laura LaRosa.
Mhm.
She was talking about the interview. I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm
Uh-huh.
not even gonna listen to it. So he already is letting people know I'm not interested in anything that anyone has to say that is
He lying
going.
though, being beautifully honest. Let me just go ahead and say he lying. He lying. All these people be talking about, well, I don't listen to it. I never hear. They watch all of us. They see us because we trend on social media just like they trend. We come up in their algorithms and feed just like everybody else. They lying. And I get tired of people
with that.
people saying that
What I'm
foolishness.
saying is they may hear it, but they're not going to listen, which is a difference.
Yes, you're
And
correct.
you know what I mean? So yeah, he'll hear it. But he was letting her know right there, I'm not going to listen. He said, I'm not going to listen to it. He's not interested in anything that anyone has to say to correct, to maybe even chastise, or to just let him know, nigga, like, what the heck is up with this? And so how he is in those circles is he's sitting at the table in a high chair with his legs swinging.
Oh, y'all are hilarious.
Baby.
That's, you know what I mean?
Oh my God. Okay.
So that's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, I will say.
I'm sorry, Mary. I want to say this. If you guys did not watch Beautifully Honest commentary on this, go and look at that. She did a good job as well on the breakdown. So sorry.
Yeah, I definitely need to go take a look at. I will say this. I unsubscribed, or I wouldn't say like I canceled, but I fell back from Kevin Hart a long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
So I can't really say that I even watched the roast. I haven't really watched any of the recent interviews or anything. So I don't even know what was said, but I believe whatever Funky Dineva said, it should have been something that probably should have been checked. I don't know what the white people said to him, but I don't remember what it was in particular. No, it didn't have anything to do with, the X tape and none of that. It didn't have to do with none of that stuff, but it was just other things where I had already just.
There was an X tape?
Yeah, he had an X tape leak.
Everybody got an X tape. What in the world?
One of his friends leaked it. Allegedly, one of his friends leaked his sex tape.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just
Okay. Look, you put it like this. Put in any celebrity, I bet you're gonna find one. But yeah, and so I wouldn't even call it dislike, but my checking out from him was a while ago, even before any of his scandals and paying people off and whatever behind the tape. Like even before that, I was just like, he just didn't do it for me. Because like I felt like for whatever reason, I felt like he was trying to come in and either be like Kat or be like the Winans brothers. Like I felt like he was trying to be like that. And even when he did like his stand-up specials a while ago, I was just like, it's just falling flat for me. So yeah, I don't even know what was said. So Beautifully Honest, can you tell me what was even said?
It was jokes about George Floyd, and yeah, and it was, of course, it wasn't Kevin Hart who said the jokes, but he allowed it. It was
from a white racist,
political
person that they said has made problematic comments before.
His whole career is about doing racial comedy.
Yeah, exactly. It's comedy cloaked in, it was racism cloaked in comedy. He's not funny, and he gives racists something to laugh at, because we know racists, that's all they want to do is laugh at, other ethnicities and races. And so for Kevin, like Mary said, why didn't these people make jokes about the sex tape or him cheating on his wife, or you know what I mean, dumping his previous wife and cheating on her with the current wife? Like, why wasn't it jokes about that? Why are you even bringing George Floyd up and saying something about he's making the Black community proud. George Floyd is looking up. So you're insinuating that he's in hell. You know, he's laughing so hard that he can't breathe. Why? You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. And Kevin Hart
that's very
pretty
distasteful.
much excuse it to say, well, it was a great set. It was a great.
Well, when I found out all the writers on this was white, that was my first red flag. I said, oh, wait a minute, Kevin Hart, you've made it, and for Funkin' and Neva to say and remind us that this is something that Kevin Hart himself produced. And you mean to tell me you produce a roast with all white writers? You couldn't find no Black comedic writers who could have written some jokes to help you in your roast? So this is all white people writing jokes, and they're writing these jokes about Black people who have been murdered at the hands of the police, and you all thought that that was perfectly fine to make those jokes. That right there, for me, when I found out all the writers was white, I said, oh no, that's real problematic.
Well, and not only that, the fact that I don't know how many years it's been. Has it been about 6 years for George Floyd?
Yeah, it'll be 6 years this summer.
Yeah, it'll be about 6 years. But the fact, and like, it doesn't really have much to do with Kevin Hart, but George Floyd shifted he really did because like obviously there was the others that were around him, Sandra Bland, et cetera,
Breonna Taylor.
Because the Breonna one cut me deep as someone who knows my man would try to protect me in that same situation. So the Breonna one definitely cut deep. But that George Floyd shift in the culture is living rent free in these white people's mind because they know it truly sparked us.
Yeah, but you know why too? I think is because they're so used to calling the police to try and solve a problem that they think that they have with us, because it was just like the first thing that white people will tend to say is, oh, I'm going to call 911. I'm going to dial the police. And when they saw that a police officer went to jail for murdering one of us, that let them know culturally that there was a shift. But that's another reason why we have such an overly aggressive administration. Now, this is my opinion.
Exactly.
This is one of the reasons why we have such an overly aggressive administration that is trying to make a statement to white America that we are still in control, that we are going to put these people in their place. And you think about it like this, Dariel. This is one of the reasons why Donald Trump can say, oh, I'm going to create a slush fund and give the rioters, the white people who tried to riot, I'm going to give them money for rioting.
Right. But so like whatever their cause was for the riot was just this wonderful, great cause. But all of the things that we have done peaceful protest on, so like for me, I look at it deeper than it's just a Kevin Hart thing, because there's a lot of Kevin Harts. And I mean, we see it with the preachers in the pulpit who are still standing behind this administration. So it's deeper than, Kevin Hart. It's just like the fact that the almighty dollar, the love of money, will make them, in essence, feel like they can erase their Blackness. No, Kevin, no matter how light your wife is and your side chicks and your girlfriends are, you're still a dark-skinned nigga. Like that, the money is not going to change that.
Yeah.
Same with all these pastors. When they see you light skin, dark skin, brown skin, whatever you are, you're still a nigga to them, no matter how much money you have. So for me, the fact that you just broke that to me, that every producer was white. It says more about, we need to be looking deeper into the fact that we're not supporting our own communities, because Ice Cube would never. But the likes of Kevin Hart could never approach an Ice Cube.
So let me say this. So I think tomorrow Netflix is going to release the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award for Eddie Murphy. I think this is his first big honor from the American Film Institute, and it's him, Denzel, and Sidney Poitier are the only 3 African Americans to receive this honor.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Which is long overdue.
Yes.
Long overdue. I say that to say, look at what Eddie is about to do and then compare it to Kevin Hart. Because Eddie he's really low key about it, but he has always supported Black artists, Black comedians, Black writers. Going all the way to Delirious. Keanu Reeves was his writer.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the credits, you see Wayans.
I'm telling you.
Sure, Damon Wayans got his first role in Beverly Hills Cop. Chris Rock in Beverly Hills Cop 2. When he did Eddie Murphy Raw, Robert Townsend was the director, and Keanu Reeves was the writer. And going all the way back. So if you look at Eddie's lineage, he has made sure Black people are being recognized. His production team, that was Charlie, that was him, that was a couple of other people. So when he says, well, I got to do, I watched the Breakfast Club interview. And when he said that, I got to do what I got to do to support this, I'm like, that's BS. Because you got somebody that did it 40 years before you even came in the scene.
Right.
I don't want to hear that excuse. So let me just take it from the top. Kevin Hart's a dumbass.
Exactly.
Okay.
Period.
He's always been uneducated. If you look at his background, he's not bright. He's not brilliant. His comedy specials are all right. They water down Cheerios. You don't get any commentary. It's all about knock jokes. A lot of comedians don't really like Kevin like that. He's
exactly.
So the other thing about it is,
you want to tell us what you really think? I
never thought it was funny. I think his ex-wife was actually funnier than him.
Yeah, his ex-wife is pretty funny. I'll just say that.
Very funny.
She used to write for him, they said. So
yeah, and he put an NDA on her to not talk about the divorce. So that's another reason I don't like him.
Yeah.
So the thing about the comedian that he had on the roast, Tony Hinchcliffe, he's not even funny. And he's known in the comedy world for not being funny. His jokes are all racial. And he's MAGA, by the way. And he supported Donald Trump. And he participated.
I didn't know he was MAGA. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Okay, well, hold on. I don't mean to do this. Then we spending way too much time on him on my program. I think I want to move on. I don't want to talk about Kevin Hart no more.
Yeah, so that's all I got to say.
Let's move on now. Now you done did it. I didn't know he was MAGA.
Yes.
Now, Lord, that's ridiculous. I got to find another subject to talk about. Hold on. I'm sorry. I can't do this now. That's one thing I can't do. I can't do these MAGA people. Yeah. I just can't do the MAGA nuts. Y'all gonna have to help me out. Okay, here we go. Who we gonna talk? Oh, let's go on to the Church of God in Christ. We ain't even gonna deal.
Them old folks down.
We are the Church of God.
Let me set this up. Let me set it up. Here we go.
Ministers today.
James Robinson has died. I want to make sure that I mention James Robinson. James Robinson has died. If you're familiar with him and you in the Christian church and you know who James Robinson is, James Robinson done died. Now let's move on to the Church of God in Christ. Here we go. Now let me go here. Because I be watching everybody's little programs. I be trying to anyway. I don't get to finish everybody's programs, but I do be watching. Mm-hmm. You cannot separate the Church of God in Christ from this situation. As much as these people keep trying to say, oh, the Church of God in Christ isn't getting sued, it's Bishop Maynard. It's just his son, his daughter, the other man. This isn't the Church of God in Christ. The whole thing that Bishop Maynard set up, you Neanderthals, was named the Church of God in Christ Health Department. Now, my humble opinion and what I'm starting to believe now is that this was set up as a buffer so that they could get the money and other people could suffer whatever the situation was as far as that's concerned. There's no way in the world that the leadership did not know about this, in my opinion. There is no way that these people could say that they had no idea that this man and his family was probably bringing in lots and lots of money and nobody knew where this money was coming from. Y'all can miss me with this. I run a business. I sit on boards. I work with churches. That's foolishness. There's no way they're having their annual meetings, the general board, and looking at the books, and you're seeing the Church of God in Christ Health Department. It was called the Church of God in Christ Health Department, get an influx of money, and nobody raised their hands and say what's going on. But here, before y'all hop in, let me go on and play this now so we can talk about all of this. The Saints is upset. I know they always upset. They upset all the time, but here we go.
Are these worldly folks?
Hold on, here we go.
Who tired? I'm tired. Are these worldly folks who don't live a nickel's worth of nothing?
How does she know what people live? She don't know what people live. And I don't live a nickel's worth of nothing. I live a dime, at least 25 cents. I'm just saying. I don't live a nickel's worth of nothing.
A strong quarter.
But they always trying to give instructions to the saints on how we ought to live. Social media is loaded with them. All these false prophets and critics who don't mind putting their mouths on God's anointed. They don't mind running us down and lying on us. But I certainly notice.
Let me tell you this. First of all, we don't have to lie on the Church of God in Christ. The truth takes care of itself. The truth takes y'all down. We don't need to tell no lies on you. Let me just say that, and I want to be very clear about that. We don't have to lie about y'all, but let's continue. Let's continue.
God got your number. Oh, yes, he do. God got your number. He told you that don't touch my anointing and don't do my prophet no harm. Oh, yeah, he got your number. Hallelujah. Unfortunately, some of these folks came out from among us, but they were never really of us.
And you know, they be talking about these vloggers when they say that, oh, they came from out from among us, because we know several vloggers that came from them and we know who they are, right, y'all?
Yeah. Right. So how long is she talking? Because I'm tired of her already.
God's got our number?
God's
got our number.
Okay. Yeah. Well, according to the Bible, God has always had our number, because the Bible says that every hair on our head is numbered or lack thereof. And so that means all the hair God has numbered. And so I'm not going there with these people. I've talked enough.
She never seen a computer in over 45 years. So how's she going to talk about social media?
Exactly. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say I am so tired of the touch not my anointed.
Thank you.
Just because I don't come up with, the big hats, or, Marcellus doesn't come up with a backwards upside down bow tie or backwards collar or whatever, that doesn't make me any less anointed in my gifts that God has bestowed upon me. So you want to attack social media, quote unquote, aka the vloggers, and the people in the comment section for using their anointing that God has bestowed upon them just because they don't hold a self-given title or a self-voted title that you guys saw fit. Get away from me with that anointed, because I'm anointed. I feel like all four of us up here have our anointings.
Absolutely.
And just because we don't wear backwards collars and we don't pay dues to their organization, it don't mean Nathaniel.
I have a question. How are you talking about we ain't anointed when the people that you claim to be anointed stole $250 million of drugs?
I'm trying to figure out who's taking advantage of the elderly, because that's what the other lady said the other day. Who's taking advantage of the elderly?
That was about to go off. I was like, oh, mama,
I'd like for you to repeat what you just said, Dariel. Please repeat what you just said.
How can you say we're not anointed? You're defending those that are anointed when those said anointed people have allegedly took $250 million of pharmaceutical drugs and sold them. Allegedly.
Simple and plain as that. You, the folks that you're claiming to be anointed, mic drop moment. I think Dariel has had 2 mic drop moments in this program. I'm just saying. But listen here. Very good statement. Very true statement.
It is.
The very people that you claim had all of this anointing, and you got them sitting up on your. Now, this is the same woman who's saying at the end of her sermon, don't let the devil ride because he might want to drive. This is the woman who's saying that. When y'all remember, I was telling y'all yesterday about the song. This is the same woman who sang that song at the end of her sermon. So here's my thing. Y'all said Bishop Maynard was anointed. You said his son and his daughter and all. Oh, they got such anointed people of God, and allegedly they stealing from y'all and y'all all the people. Go ahead, now. Go ahead, y'all.
Because who's on the board, junior or senior?
Senior.
Okay, so I just don't understand. Like you said, they sat down at this table, or they're supposed to be sitting down in these Zoom meetings and at these tables. How is it not a conflict of interest for a board member to essentially create a separate entity? And I don't know how, because they said the statement didn't have a signature on it or whatever that bull was. You clearly have a relationship with Eli Lilly, but your own board member created something in your name, not on paper, but I guess public facing, Kojic medical, whatever. At what point in time do they not realize the money is funneling just to all them people on the board, and everybody's getting a payout up there?
In layman's terms, Mary, that's called racketeering.
And we were talking about 200 million, and this is just the one. I'm telling you, I still want to know who's taking advantage of the elderly. Let me find out.
250 million, $250 million that has been laundered around a Black-led Pentecostal organization.
Yes.
That is just flat out disturbing.
Who claims to be the country's largest denomination in the country. This is supposed to be the largest Black denomination in the country.
And then the fact that they did the loophole where he had already, because remember I told you, I didn't even know that part, that they had already had a failed relationship. And went and finagled the system, conned the system, lied to the system to get this. So I'm just like, what kind of anointing is that? Who anointed that? Because the God I serve wouldn't have anointed that kind of foolery, schemery, and trickery.
Right.
Look, go ahead, being beautifully honest. Go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you guys. And I will never understand all of these religions, period. But it's just interesting hearing about this Kojic stuff. And I remember the first time I heard the song they saying you can't join in, you have to be born in. That sounds like a
best I've ever heard in my life.
That sounds like
girl, you can write a check. You'll be in tomorrow. Just write a check.
But I'm just saying the mindset that they have where they would even say some stuff like that when it's like, if you're serving God and you want people to be saved and delivered and set free, what kind of stuff is that to say, first and foremost? But two, this woman stood here and said, God got your number. What about these people who stole all that money?
Right. Well, here's my thing. And I'm so glad. This is why I love panel discussions, because you guys always strike something in me. Being beautifully honest, here you go. You done did this. When I was growing up in the institutional church, I used to feel so ashamed a lot of times because I wasn't second and third and fourth generation Christian. Because I was the first person in my family to accept Jesus Christ as Savior. The saints used to always get up, and when they would get a testimony, I'm second and third generation this and fourth generation this. And here I was, the only person I knew in my family who was serving Jesus. So it used to make me feel so bad. I'm serious. I used to be feeling so bad. And one day I was praying and talking to God about that. And the Lord was like, Marcellus, why are you letting these people shame you over something? Because you're already in my hand and it doesn't matter. And I've made certain promises to you. So you hang on the promises that I've given you. But the saints will do that. You hear preachers do things like, well, I'm second and third generation Pentecostal bishop. And I'm the third generation bishop preaching in my family, as if that's some sort of pride that you're supposed to be awarded because you second and third and fourth generation. The saints are always trying, a lot of them, to shame you and give you some sort of spiritual pedigree honor. Because see, this is what I call that. That's like a spiritual pedigree honor. I don't care if you're a second or third generation, nothing. Because if you start pulling back the layers of the generation of your family, 9 times out of 10, y'all were crooks, y'all were liars, you covered for each other, you did all kinds of stuff for one another. And being beautifully honest, this is one of the reasons why, just what you said, you can't join in. You got to be born in. It is that thing is to shame you into the fact that you're not of us. And that's why when you listen to a lot of Church of God in Christ people speak, they will be like, oh, well, I was born in this church. And I was, you know what I'm saying? I've been here since the beginning, and I'm coming to you, Dariel, because I know you have a Holy Ghost. A Holy Ghost fit.
He said, "Hiya!"
But go ahead, Dariel, because Mary doesn't mess me up.
I'm feeling it. That statement alone, it contradicts the Bible, because at the end of the day, it's not about if we were born in, it's if we are washed in the blood. Because the Bible tells us once we are born and baptized, we are automatically adopted into the kingdom. So Absolutely. That whole lineage thing is garbage, because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you're a third generation. If you washed in the blood, then you are already in. There's no such thing as lineage. It ain't in the eyes of God. It's if you are blood bound and tied into the blood of Jesus, you are set for life. So that whole entire statement is ridiculous and churchy nonsense.
But it's ridiculous because there always has to be a first. And to me, I would feel like being the first, just like how they would praise first generation, or like they would award first generation graduates with more scholarships. Marcellus was technically first generation to his knowledge in his family. To me, that is honorable. But the other reason why this is so asinine is because what is the difference between this setup, the church setup, and being first, second, and them comparing legacy people in sorority and fraternities?
It gives a fraternity vibe.
Well,
because the legacy people feel like they're all high and mighty.
And let me say this, name, as someone that was born in the Pentecostal assemblies of the world, we have never acted like that, like Kozik does. PAW don't act like that. But at the same time, we got our own situation.
I'm gonna need to stick a pin here. Rewind. Let's go back to what Mary, not contrary, just said, because that is another mic drop moment that we need to readdress here.
Yep.
Mary, I would like for you, if you can, to possibly repeat what you just said in regards to fraternities and this particular situation. Please repeat.
Yes, they want to talk about you're born in. I'm a third, fourth, fifth generation. Sororities and fraternities have legacy members, which are the third, fourth, fifth generation. They feel like they have some sort of superiority complex within these said organizations. What makes it so different?
I've been saying this forever, and I'm so glad you just said it. And you said it so eloquently. That's why I had to have you to repeat what you said. If I would have been faster on these buttons, I'd have given you an applause. Let me simply say this. What Mary just expressed to you is the flat out truth. You all are spending all y'all time worried about these fraternities and alpha this and omega that, when some of you treat your denominations and your churches just like a fraternity. Some of you done pledged allegiance to your denomination to the point to where it has become an idol to you. And let me say this, because when it comes to the Church of God in Christ and just people singing all these silly songs, you can't join in. You got to be born in. Imagine if you're a sinner who's never heard of the Church of God in Christ, and you go and people start singing songs talking about, well, you can't join into this. You got to be born in. I'd be like, okay, well, it's time for me to go.
Exactly.
And that's exactly why I say the first generation is that's an honorable thing, because you're saying, wait, I found Jesus. Why would I don't think that me finding Jesus should be contingent upon, oh, well, my mama didn't have Jesus or my grandmama didn't have Jesus, so I can't have Jesus. Make it make sense.
I'm sorry.
We all serving the same God, though, right? Because Kojic or not Kojic is still God in Christianity. No,
I question that, but that's what they say.
Exactly, because that's what I was just about to go to. Are we really serving the same God? And the older I get, the more I'm trying to. I'm really thinking, No, I think they might have a version of the God that's been expressed or known to them, but I don't know if they're really truly serving the true and living God.
Right.
And because I think the true and living God will get you past a lot of this denominationalism and just churchianity and all. And really, let me just say this, because Jesus is not a Christian and neither is God. And see, I think this is the other thing that people miss. You know, God is not a Christian. I remember when Carlton Pearson wrote that book, all hell broke loose. You know, people just went crazy because he said God wasn't a Christian. God isn't a Christian.
He isn't a Christian.
He's not a Hindu. He's not a Muslim. He's none of those things. And it's just so sad that we cannot be mature enough. And thank God for all of you, because over here at the Mad Church Disease channel, at least y'all giving us the right to have the conversation, and y'all don't misbehave until the nut bags show up in the chat. Because y'all know we get the nut bags. But I'm just saying, thank y'all that we can be mature enough to have these types of conversations, because God ain't no Christian. If you read the Bible says God is a spirit.
Exactly.
And if you understand spirit is neither male nor female. Now, if I really wanted to get deep, now listen, the scripture says we were made in his image, which means he drew out from himself us, and then according to the text, then he drew out from Adam Eve, which means that the genetic makeup or code for Eve was already in Adam. So there was an element to female that was already present in Adam that caused females to be, which means God has all of those elements inside of himself as well, which means if he is spirit, hey, hedobosa. Okay, hold on. Y'all don't believe nothing unless people hollering and screaming and speaking in tongues. I'm just saying. That means God has to have an element to the male as well as female.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Just saying.
Yes.
All right. I'm a hush now. I done got off my preaching box.
Exactly. Because that is the part that I'm like, they always want to go for like the things in the secular world and call it cultish and whatever. But like you said, they clearly it's a different God, because they're giving very much, LDS and all those little documentaries I've been watching with all those different things. Look, we just watched Nature Boy. Now they was.
I fell asleep. Listen, when they told me they were putting their own excrement on their tomatoes and things, and on the seeds and the plants, and then they would grow, but it was from all natural, and they was eating it. I said, I fell right on to sleep. By the time they got to the boo-boo and the tomatoes, I was like, oh, I'm asleep. This ain't good. I can't even make the episode number 2.
Right. Marcellus, I watched that first episode. I said, I gotta go to bed. I gotta finish this.
You gotta watch it in the daytime. You gotta watch it.
I said, I went through and I finished it, but yes, the first episode, I'm like, wait, this is just the first episode? But I'm just like, this is how the brainwashing starts. Yeah, maybe Kojic isn't gonna go to that extreme, but in general, the brainwashing and the threats that come, God has your number. I sure hope he has my number. I want him to have my phone number. I want him to have my social security number. I want him to have my number in order of, first, second to last, who's going to make it to the pearly gates. Like, I want him to have my number, quite honestly. That, to me, that's not a threat in the way that she meant it, because he has me. He's going to keep me. Like, I don't.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, not to cut you off, but I gotta say this because I hear your spirit, and so when I pick up things spiritually, I'm cutting you off so I can say this. Religion traffics in fear.
Yes.
Listen to me very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says that the beginning of wisdom is to fear the Lord. And fear the Lord has nothing to do with being afraid of, but having a respect and reverential fear and putting God in his proper context and place in your own life. Yes. Listen to me carefully. You can never fully serve a God that you fear or abhor. Understand something. If you're always afraid to approach God, you will never be able to get a true understanding of God, because you stay in a perpetual state of fear.
Exactly.
Continue, Mary.
Yes. But yeah, I just like the way that they go about threatening and acting as if when they try to do, I guess, like the word curses, because I'm sure Montgomery gonna have a word curse coming sooner or later for somebody. But it's like they always want to do some sort of like word cursing. I hope God has God's gonna have your number, whatever. I don't understand where the compassion left when it's like, and I mean, not that we need to be babied and coddled, but why does it always have to be like, and I'm gonna get you? Just like with Karn, I'm from Duval. You ain't gonna bust a grape in a food fight.
Right.
Come on.
Like, why do y'all buck up behind that microphone?
Oh, didn't Marvin Winans do it? He went right in and he was talking all that smack to them Hebrew Israelites as he waved in his car and drove on by. And then he gets in his pulpit. Once he got behind that pulpit with that microphone, he was in Perfecting Church talking mad head. I didn't even play the rest of the video, but I was like, this nigga, you the same nigga that when they showed up at that gas station after you did that sermon and they ripped your pants off of you. Why didn't you fight then,
Buddha naked?
Yeah, why didn't you fight then, nigga? What? Who? Ain't nobody afraid of you? Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Speaking of, have they put the program together for the building, Dario? Do we know?
They done moved it. So now they're saying that the building is going. The grand opening was supposed to be Easter. Then it's supposed to be June. Now they're saying it's going to be in October.
And it'll be November, December, January, February.
Okay, Sheba Sheree. They said September.
Spring, summer.
September, spring, summer for the fall. Okay.
It's sad. It really is sad. It's
just a joke.
Okay, so when is that investigation gonna go underway?
It's coming around the corner because the city of Detroit is pissed.
Because I thought the city said if they did not get this project done and underway in a certain time frame, that they were going to take that piece of property back.
So that city attorney was working under a different administration. We have a whole new mayor now.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, but the new mayor is pro. That's what I couldn't remember. They're pro Winans or
they're pro Winans because her dad is a minister.
That's what it was. Okay, that's what it was.
They're kind of close. But I actually had a conversation with her dad. Actually, I saw him at supermarket, and he fed up with Marvin Winans. So,
where is our edifice?
Right. So, I think they're letting it slide a little bit to cover her first year, but I think after that they're going to get with him and be like, "What's going on?" Because we gave you a little bit of grace. So, what's up?
A little bit of grace. We going on a whole 3 decades.
We're talking now. I believe if they roll over into next year, it's either going to be 24 or 25 years.
24
years. 24 years. I like round numbers. 25 years, because he probably won't be done by the time we get to 25 either. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, most of you don't know, and I just want to say this to the Winans family because I know everybody be watching. Because one of them even dialed into our show one night. I didn't even know it was her. Let me say something. I mean no ill will towards Marvin Winans. I really believe that Marvin Winans is killing himself trying to build his church. His health has taken a tremendous decline. He has gone up and down and around because stress of trying to build a building and build something is it takes a toll on you. But most preachers have to build a monument unto themselves so that they can say that they've done something or they've quote unquote lived. Let me tell you what I believe as a preacher is the legacy of a real man of God, is to produce a mature thinking people who can read the scripture and have a real mature Christian life and walk in their own lives. It has nothing to do with a building, has nothing to do with none of this other stuff, but you are mature in your thinking and you're mature enough in your faith that you don't have to roll around with all of this other stuff that you see going on all over the place and in social media. In my mind, that is the real legacy of a true man or woman of God. Your legacy is to build and equip the saints. That is the true legacy for me. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
So because I thought any religion is you equip those who you're teaching to therefore go spread the word and continue. Okay, whatever.
Well, Marvin lied on God. I want to be very clear about that. And I have said this a million times. Marvin Winans lied on God. When he said God told him that he was supposed to build him a house, I said that was a whole lie, because the Bible goes up against every single thing of that. The Bible says that God was never going to dwell in no temples made by no darn hands. Very simple. And I know we've gone over for 2 hours. I'm going to let everybody get a final thoughts on anything. And by the way, if you're just now joining us, we had dropped the link. On Fridays, you get to sound off and give your opinions about anything. So you need to come up and be on time. Be on time, so I don't have to meet you in the bathroom and make you sing Fair East Side High. In a minute, I'm gonna have to have some of y'all singing Fair East Side, because y'all you're running around here without no pass, no hall pass, and you're coming in all late.
Tiptoeing with their finger up, the Baptist finger.
I'm about to have you sing Fair East Side. Let's start with the ladies, being beautifully honest. Give me your final thoughts on any of the topics, or however you like to end, so we can get out of here. We've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it was a great conversation. I love the input that everybody had on the topics from Cheyenne to Amanda Seals needing to get some help.
Baby.
Kevin Hart and this Joni Lamb saga that it's a lot. It's a lot. But I mean, I enjoyed the conversation. So if you got in late, catch the replay, because it was
absolutely
good.
It was good. Absolutely. And thanks for your input. You guys had some mic drop moments in this live. I'm not kidding. Some of these I'm gonna have to go find these clips and clip this, because these are the ones y'all about to see. These mic drops are the ones y'all gonna see, because that was some good comments, especially about Darielle and Mary. All y'all had some really good comments, but I'm telling y'all had some mic drops. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, no, I would just say what I always tell people. I empower and implore you to do research for yourself, to become a free thinker for yourself, whether it's, in the secular world. Also be mindful, like how we were talking about the Kevin Hart thing, the artists and the entertainment that we support, who are they supporting, just like our pastors, who are they supporting. But yeah, just make sure you do your research. Never stop seeking knowledge about something. One thing can be true yesterday, people change, so that is no longer true today. So seek knowledge.
Absolutely. Now I got to come to the Negro who done beat me up on my own program today with all these mic drops. All right, Darielle, take it from here. Your final comment, sir.
Thanks for always inviting me in here, man.
You've done a great job today, sir.
Thank you.
You and Mary have really done a great job today. I'm sitting here going, y'all got some real mic drops on this here program today. Absolutely.
I'll just leave on this note. Malcolm X did a great assessment on being mindful of who the media puts as representation of Black African Americans. And he had a long conversation about the new Black celebrities. And he was talking about the time when there was Sammy Davis Jr. and Ozzie Davis, who are like socially constructed. And he was even saying to them, don't trust them.
Right.
Don't trust them, because they already in their pocket. So just remember that the next time you have somebody like a Kevin Hart come to you.
Oh God, this is supposed to be final comments. I guess this better be my final comment, because you done struck something else in me. Okay. If you've ever made a lot of money and you've ever tasted true freedom, being bound and having to go back into that system, you will fight, gnaw, and kill to keep money in your pocket and to keep your freedom. People who have made money move different than people who are just scratching to get to money. Understand something. When you've made money and you've experienced what true freedom is, and being able to get up and go and do what you want, when you want, how you want, go to the grocery store and you ain't got to look at the prices. Listen to me. That is a different kind of way of living versus another type of living. Now I'm speaking for myself. There was a time in my life, I am not there right now. So Negroes, pay attention, because I ain't saying I'm there right now. I have been there. Listen, I've paid $1,000 for a pair of shades and didn't think twice about it. I've spent a lot of money. I've gotten shoes shipped from Italy. And I'm gonna tell you how God had to deal with me with that kind of stuff. all my stuff is, some of that stuff is gone. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Because God is going to bring you down, and he's going to bring you to reality, and he's going to say, no, you need to look at prices. You need to understand what you're buying. He's going to bring you down. So anyway, I'm saying all of that to say this. When you've tasted freedom, some of these Negroes, Dariel, they're not thinking about the culture. They're thinking about their money. And they're thinking about the freedom that the money brings, because it brings you to a space and a place in life that most people never get to experience. It is a different type of experience. And when you've been there, and that's why I told y'all, Dr. Dingleberry will spit on the ground and drown his mama in it, because he don't want to go back to that trailer. He don't want to go back to that trailer. He will lie, cheat, and steal to stay out of that trailer. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the mentality of a lot of people. But when you've had and you haven't had, it should bring you a great level of humility and balance, because I know what it's like to have, and I know what it's like to not have. And so you shouldn't be in a place where, you know, you let money dictate how you move throughout the world. And unfortunately, a lot of these Black celebrities that we have, they allow their money and their influence and their fame. Now you got to think about Kevin Hart. Now some of these other people, they're on a higher plane and level of that. You know, some of us who own businesses and who have tasted the freedom, and we know what that freedom tastes like. Imagine if you had that multiplied by millions of dollars. Imagine what you are going to possibly do if you don't have your integrity in place to stay on that level and in that place. These niggas will kill you. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they will come out and cut your throat and lie on you and cheat on you. Speaking of lying and cheating, I got to say one more thing before we get out of here. Will Smith's ex-wife is now suing Tasha, one of these guests that was on Tasha K's program.
Is she?
Yes.
Is it the dude that went on there talking all that junk?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I had meant to bring this up, but it just hit my brain and we're supposed to be leaving. But if y'all want to speak on this, y'all can. But I had to bring this up before we get out of here. First of all, I think Will and Jada's probably pushed her to do this. That's number one. Because if they come out here and sue him, it's gonna make them look bad, right? But here she is, she's kind of outside of the Hollywood celebrity kind of thing. So if she really pushes the envelope on that. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the Tasha K interview, so I really can't speak on this on a greater level. So the only thing I can tell you is she is suing the gentleman or whoever was on there, because she said that there were certain things that were said about her that weren't true. And so I'm gonna leave it there. But if any one of you guys want to talk about it, you can, and then we'll get out of here. But
well, I will just say this real quick, because it is on her app. I did listen to the interview. I didn't talk about it, but he's doing too much. He really is doing too much. And I won't say I'm glad she's doing it, because I could care less, but he did say something about her that was extremely like, whoa, because you don't really hear much about his ex-wife.
Right.
No.
But it was just like an off comment, like making her out to be like some whore that she was just, yeah. And it was like, what did she do? Like, why is she catching strays? But I would just say this. It proves that these people do follow Tasha K, and a lot of them are in that app. Because that wasn't even online. You have to be in the app to have even seen that interview.
And that's why I say they all be watching. Don't y'all get it twisted. Even when you got a small channel, don't y'all get it twisted. These people be watching. Go ahead, Dario.
And that is why, mark my words when I say this, Tasha K is not going to be hosting anything in the near future. That woman's name is Mud. Cardi B is doing whatever she can to make that woman destitute. And it's
now that you done said this, now we ain't going nowhere. Stay put. Hold on. Now you done made. Now listen here, Dario. I know a lot of people don't like Tasha K. Yeah. But I respect Tasha K on this level. Tasha K built one of the largest platforms in America. An African-American woman did that. Y'all can discredit her. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Tasha K. Yes, she trafficked in gossip. Yes, she told everybody's business, whatever. But everybody was watching and everybody be listening. And so whatever you want to say, Tasha K deserves the respect that for just simply building that as a Black woman along with her husband. But she was the face of it, because I didn't even know anything about her husband until much later. She was the face of it, so she built it. So that's the first thing I want to make. Second thing I want to say to this Cardi B thing. I think Cardi B at this point is being vindictive.
Absolutely.
She's being vindictive because she has the more or less celebrity. Now she's got a name that's a little bit farther along. But I want to tell y'all something. Cardi B is a disgusting woman to me. And let me tell you why she is
a pause button.
I'm just saying. Let me tell you why Cardi B is a disgusting woman to me. First of all, Cardi B said something about turning tricks on men when she was a stripper and in these strip clubs. This is a woman who made a statement one time that said about robbing men, like drugging men and robbing them. And running out and doing all of this kind of stuff on men that she was supposed to be, I guess, using her body to, to entice them and allure them so that they could be robbed. Yeah. So this is a woman who said that out of her own mouth. I heard her say that out of with my own ears. Oh, yeah. The moment I heard Cardi B said that, I said, I will never listen to another song. I will never listen to nothing else this girl say. And you know why? Because that speaks to the innate nature of a human being. And for somebody to laugh and make light of taking men and drugging them, because if that would have been reversed, if some man would get on the internet and say, yeah, I used to drug women. Imagine if Bill Cosby would have came out here and say, yeah, I drugged them and took advantage of them, everybody would have been all up in arms. But because it's Cardi B and she can rap about her WAP. And then
he had people suing him to this day. Nobody's suing Cardi B for what she admitted to do. It wasn't like she was in an interview and she was just like, I've had a past and she was bragging about it.
She's bragging about it.
And to this day, she continues to have repeated patterns and bad behavior that people just celebrate. Oh, that's just Cardi B. Tasha K has people that she's interviewed. People reach out to her to share information. And this is one of those situations where people literally kill the messenger because they don't like the message because it's about people that they prefer over her. I just have to say, I don't have an issue if people don't like Tasha K because everybody has a right to like who they like and don't like who they don't like. But I respect her as an entrepreneur, as a wife, okay, and as a mother, and as a Black woman who, let's be clear, if she had she had less pigment, less melanin,
right,
she would not be getting a lot of the hate that she does receive.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and I agree with Marcellus. Cardi B is being vindictive because that whole lawsuit started off of, again, it was an interview. Someone who came to her platform who claimed she was a former roommate and former friend stripper with Cardi B, and Cardi B sued both of them. But unlike the other person who just didn't respond and had like a default judgment for like $75,000, Tasha K was like, shit, I should have just not even responded and had a default judgment. I wouldn't be going.
Basically.
But she's favored in the legal system because of her celebrity, and she has the money to hire a huge legal team. And her lawyer, the first one, was somebody who had previously represented Larry Reed. So that was a bad.
Because they said Olga was in the cafeteria eating hamburgers, and that's why she didn't respond. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She had bad counsel, and she doesn't have the money and the celebrity that this person has. So because this person that Cardi B literally hates, who she sued, and she's still alive, she's still working. It's like if you want the money, how do you expect to get it if she's not working?
Right. Now, here's my... exactly. Now, being beautifully honest, I agree with you 100%. Now, Darielle, this is where you and I on this program, because this is Fist Fight Friday, we are going to completely disagree about Tasha K. Because I want Tasha K to have her platform. She built a business. A very successful business, and at this particular point, Cardi B is just simply going after that woman because now she just flat out doesn't like Tasha K, and she knows that there are Tasha K people out there who just want Tasha K to fail or whatever. I don't. The first time I talked to Tasha K, I got the vibe that she didn't really care for me because I asked the question but I kind of got a vibe. I was like, maybe I should ask the question, but it was just a question that I had that I wanted. But here's the thing. I respect Tasha K. I respect her business acumen. I don't like disrespecting Black women like the way that I feel like Tasha K takes a lot of disrespect.
And let me add, she is openly disrespected by a lot of people,
right?
Because of her skin complexion and her body build, which is just gross. And as a black man, I'm not standing for that either.
Right.
Now I do have to say, and I gotta get out of here too. I'm way behind. I heard, going back to the professionalism, the way that she has handled certain things, I do feel is a bit unprofessional from a journalistic standpoint.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. I ain't got nothing.
It's fine. Yeah,
Right.
that opinion is fine.
Well, let's say this, and this is just anybody who's ever matriculated in business, and even doing this YouTube thing. I didn't understand the power of my voice on YouTube really, really well until maybe about 2 years ago. It didn't really hit me until about 2 years ago. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I got to get a little bit more care about how I do and say things. But here's this. When people were calling into the Wendy Williams show and they were yelling and screaming and cussing out Wendy, and Wendy was hitting them people hard with all her hot gossip, everybody loved Wendy. When Wendy got on her TV show, Wendy had to curtail the nature of how she did her business, but she still did her business. Yep. Here's the thing with Tasha K that I feel like people need to understand and kind of respect, and y'all need to get some maturity about this. Tasha K, it's almost like Tasha K is still in her radio phase. It hasn't gotten to television yet. She's still in her radio phase. So she's hitting hard with the information that she's got, and she's making the loudest noise, and people are listening and watching, but she hasn't gotten to the stage to where she would be able to curtail the way she's doing her business just yet, because she's still in the building phases of that business. So some people might push back on that, but just in the nature, because I see Tasha K sort of patterning herself after the Wendy Williams kind of way things was done. And I feel like she just hasn't gotten there to that spot yet, but I still respect her for it. But I can't stand no Cardi B. If all her butt injections blow up tomorrow, I guarantee you right now, I'm going to post it on the Mad Church Disease channel, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to preach a message. I'm going to title the message, and I'm going to entitle it, When Your Ass is in a Hole. That's what I'm going to title it. That's what I'm going to title the message, When Your Ass is in a Hole.
Let me give y'all, I'm going to give a little bit of pushback on the Cardi part.
Okay.
I feel that she is a great mother. The things that she is doing for her kids, I applaud that. And she, no, the kids don't need all the, fancy stuff. But the fact that she can acknowledge she doesn't want her kids to speak like her. She doesn't want her kids to mimic the way, she grew up. She wants to elevate her kids, and just they know multiple languages. They have different tutors for different stuff. I feel like a lot of times with the celebrities, some of them, they'll say, oh yeah, well, I got a nanny and this, that, and the other, but she really does invest into her children. So I give her respect for that part, but I'm just like, it's the day and the age of the scammer. The city girl, JT done went to prison behind it, from there. So I just feel like it was one of those things where the scammerations were scammering. And yes, I do agree that in that sense, there is a double standard, because had it been a male doing it, lock them up and throw away the key. But so there is definitely a double standard in that case, that the females kind of just got away with it. But I do think that Cardi is a great mother.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't even
hold on. Well, go ahead, Dariel.
I didn't even look at you funny, Mary. I was, Marcellus posted something. This woman on his chat keep talking about, well, I need to buy them throughout the entire duration. I was like,
I was like, what? I was wondering.
Hold on, y'all. Let me tell you who that woman is. That's Stephanie. We all know Stephanie. And y'all, when y'all go off the topic, I just let some of y'all talk. I know who it is, so that's why you notice I didn't say anything.
That's
Stephanie.
Okay.
Because I was like, because the first time I saw Juanita pop up on the screen I was like, wait, what if Juanita do?
Look at her. So yeah.
But no, it's just, I will never, there's so many content creators that make negative content about Tasha K. I will never get in these people's chats or their comment section or whatever. I don't engage because they
Me
have the right
neither.
to feel however they want to feel,
Mhm.
but don't come at me because I have a difference of opinion and I like her, one, and two, I respect her entrepreneurship and her business hustle. And you may not like it, but what I feel is a lot of those people who are kind of wishing for her downfall, you're like, but you're praising Cardi B for her style of how
Mm.
she does her music or whatever, but it's wrong for Tasha K and her style of how she delivers content because she didn't build the millions of subscribers on her channel because she was being something that she wasn't. This is her style of
Exactly.
delivering
Mhm.
content, which is called wine, gossip, and comedy. People like her, and there's a lot of people who don't like her that still follow her. So it's
Mhm.
like they give her what the people that she has given platform to be able to share their stories or whatever and interview them. And there's a lot of people she's interviewed where she did not agree with them. Like, I will tell you this one real quick.
Mhm.
One woman who talked about John Gray. Remember John Gray, the pastor?
Mhm.
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 She came on, and this was maybe 3 years ago or something like that. She talked about her experience with John Gray. She said she never was intimate with him, but he was sending her cash apps and all this other stuff. Tasha K checked that woman and she was like, "Didn't you know he was a married man? So
Mhm.
why
Right.
are you so I'm saying there's so many different moments of things that she has said and done that people do not give her credit for. But if she's talking about someone that people favor or like or whatever, then they'll get in the comment section, "You need to pay Cardi her money." It's like she is, and I
Well,
respect that
well,
she just continues to move forward in spite of the
right.
hate that she gets.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's
And
it.
that's why I don't want her business to be taken. I don't want her business to go down. And I hope it doesn't have to get to the point to where I have to send her a cash app to save everything. Because I'm gonna be right honest with y'all. If y'all
And
can
it's not because if you see this, she just posted this today.
Oh,
Tasha
she
K
good.
makes
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
a deal with
Mhm.
Wendy Williams's radio and TV syndicator, Oceanic Trade Winds.
Oh,
So
she might take over Sherry Shepherd's show.
it's like this was just posted today when all of these people were making content saying Cardi B's about to take her channel and take all her money and her kids not going to be able to go to school and this and that. And it's like, why are you saying stuff like that? And she just stayed silent and continued to work in spite of what
wow.
the people are
And
saying. I respect
honestly, what I've learned in this business, if you all will notice everything that has been surrounding this channel, all I have done is kept my mouth closed and kept
Mhm.
working. If you
Mhm.
notice
Mhm.
what I have done, kept
Mhm.
my mouth closed and kept working because I know
Mhm.
people is lying. They know they lying. Now to the public, there's an optics look that people put out there, right? But I have to keep my mouth closed and keep working because some of these vloggers and these people done partnered up with folks and they
Right.
do it and they do everything they do to try to discredit you because maybe they don't like you. And my
Mhm.
thing is, and I've come to grips with the fact and see if I was really gonna be myself, listen here. I would have come out here and laid y'all all out and cuss y'all out and move right on along. But see, I'm trying to be a better me. I told you I'm trying to work a little different, right? So
Mhm.
understand something. As a vlogger, especially to Darielle or Mary, if you all have you have hopes of doing this and starting your channels and doing your stuff, understand something. You have to separate your life from this stuff and
Yeah.
make sure that you keep a space for being respectful and just understand that this is not your life and that you are a real person and that you don't let people bring you and drag you into something that you have nothing to do with and getting you to do the back and forth. Because me, I be trying to answer all y'all comments. I see some big vloggers, they don't even talk to y'all. They just let you chat.
Yeah.
And I be in the chat going, thank you. And I love you too. And I'm over here chatting and talking to everybody. So my whole mindset is, okay, if that's what y'all want to do, that's fine. But as far as Cardi B and the Tasha K thing, Cardi B is disgusting. You will never get me to side with that woman. That's just number one. And for all of you that's deciding with her because you just don't like Tasha K, every black woman, as far as I'm concerned, whether you like Tasha K or not, you should at least have a smidget of respect for the fact that this is something that a black woman built.
Mhm.
And I don't understand the mentality of black people when it comes to that kind of stuff. And that's just me. Now we were supposed to be having final comments. Does anybody else want
Okay.
to say anything?
I
Yeah,
gotta
no, I
leave.
was just
I
gonna.
gotta get out of here.
All right. All right.
Bye,
All right. See you later,
Darielle.
Darielle. All right. All right.
No, I was just gonna say, just to further my schizophrenic comments, as they so likely or as they so pleasantly said. I think that
We so good at what we do. Go ahead, Mary.
I know. Well, no, because I just want to clarify. I do not like her taking down Tasha K.
Right.
I don't like. I'm not saying that I side with her in terms of her attack against Tasha. Let me make that clear. But we have all seen the movies. We've all heard the stories of so and so robbing from either a store, or they, saw an opportunity where they could steal for something to feed their kid. Now, yes, Cardi is a millionaire. At that time, she was not. So I'm just imploring people to take away the whole oh, she's just, she's a WAP monster and this, that, and the other, and just say yeah, there are other stories of people who do rob, steal, whatever, to make sure that they can provide a better life for their kids. So that's the approach when I say that she's a good mother. She's taking the hits for her kids. She's doing hopefully so that her kids won't repeat these bad behaviors. I think we all have those grandparents or great grandparents who are saying, I made this sacrifice. I was the one willing to go to jail. I was the one who sold my body in order for you not to sell your body.
I just want to interject real quick. And I'm only saying this with regards to, God, Christ, believing forgiveness.
Right.
How hypocritical is it because everybody has a past. I'm not saying everyone's past is the same, but how hypocritical is it for someone to have a past, talk about that past, wanting to have grace for it, has received the grace, and you have so much hatred and vindictiveness that you want to destroy someone in present time when you are living a life of privilege and, and money.
Oh, yeah, that's why I don't support. Yeah.
That's my issue, because I'm not a fan of her music. I never have been. So it's not even just about her statements or whatever. I'm just not a fan of her music. But I'm talking about now. She gets all of that from a lot of people. And in present time, a lot of those people that give her grace and, oh, that's just Cardi. They're holding Tasha K's feet to the fire about a lawsuit that was already set. Well, it was judged and decided. And the the payments she's been making, because there have been no default judgments. So she's been making the payments. She's upset with this woman. She just doesn't want her to exist anymore. And that's why in present day, she has made comments about your kids ain't going to be able to go to college. You're going to have to do this.
That's jealousy. That's jealousy. I'm going to just keep it 100. That's just people being jealous. Now, you want to talk about some haters. I watched the video. It might have been a couple of days ago, a week ago, when they were talking about the settlement. They had up the court documents and everything. Yeah. And when the lady got to the point to where she said, I think in January, February, that Cardi B made $80,000 in a month. You know what I said? I said, let me get off of this damn video, because I don't make no 80,000. If Tasha making 80 grand,
this is out of my tax bracket.
Yeah, I said, you go, Tasha K, and keep making the money, because she's doing this on a level that, first of all, if you ain't making $80,000 a month as a YouTuber, close your mouth and watch what she is doing and try to learn something from it. I ain't trying to tear the woman down, even though I'm not into the gossip thing. Y'all know that that ain't even my lane. But I be going to everybody's little channels and like, oh, I can learn this. I can maybe try this. I try to, you know what I'm saying? I be learning stuff. Right. You sitting up here trying to tear down with this woman. Who knows? Tasha K could come out here and say, okay, you guys, later, let me show you how I did this or how I built this or what I did. I'm going to be the first person to sign up for the class. I'm going to be like, okay, let me figure out how you did this, because what she did is astounding. Exactly. You don't have to like her. You don't have to agree with everything she says. But what this woman has built, y'all can miss me with that, and that's just where I am with it. Go ahead, Mary, because I think I cut you off. Who was it? Was it you?
Well, no, because I was just gonna say, it whenever it comes to millionaires, we definitely are just like, why are they worried about this? Why are they worried about that? When we can easily apply these same situations to our own lives. And again, I'm not excusing her behavior that. I do not support her going after Tasha, but we all have that one friend or that one family member who has a vendetta against that one person that they ain't never gonna let go to the day that they die. Their whole existence is gonna be to take that person down, whether they're the rich one, the poor one, indifferent. But I'm just saying, in terms of her, she's still selling her body essentially for her children. So like she is still making her past crimes. I mean, she was a scammer. That is what it is. But yeah, like she is still, she's just like, this is what I know how to do. I was raised as a stripper. I'ma just put on my show and hopefully my kids ain't got the bare ass.
And you're not going to get the most integral decisions from somebody like that. Those people are going to sell you and throw you under the bus every single time. Now, and the only thing I'll give Cardi B credit on is the fact that she's wise enough, or she's getting good information about Donald Trump, because Cardi B has been killing y'all about Donald Trump for I don't know how long, trying to tell y'all he's full of it. But that's just me. The one thing about that, she's definitely been telling people about Donald Trump and that Trump administration. All right, ladies.
All right.
Should we do one more let y'all finish, or are we done? Can we go?
I'm good. I'm good. It was a
Mary,
you good? We good. Oh yeah,
okay.
We real good. I love having these conversations. You already know that.
I love you guys being here on a Friday. So next Friday, don't leave me by myself, y'all. And for those of you that are in the chat, on Fridays, you guys have an opportunity to come up here and give me your thoughts. That's why we do the hot topics thing on Friday. So feel free to come up. Feel free to, give your thoughts, because that's and we don't always have to agree. And you can see we can disagree lovingly. And we didn't push back that hard this Friday, but we did a good job. And that Dariel, I tell you, he has some mic drops here. But anyway,
he came in hot. He said, hold my beer. Ain't that what they say? Hold my beer. I got something to say.
You guys have done an awesome job. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to Penny. Penny went ahead and blessed us today to make sure that we had our budget taken care of today. But I do want to make sure that if anybody wants to subscribe to the email newsletter, I'm going to be updating the email newsletter and sending you guys out a link for the newsletter. I want y'all to make sure y'all click on that link, subscribe to the newsletter. If you wanted to be a blessing to the Mad Church Disease and get us ahead for next week on our budget, you can. You're not forced to do anything. I just ask. Y'all notice I didn't even ask on this particular program, but I want to always give you guys the opportunity, because I know some of people here actually do love me and they like the program here. I know that might come as a shock. Surprise. But for those of you that want to support the show, I appreciate you. Now, though, I'm going to have some videos next week where I'm going to kind of instruct some of you on how to move around on your keyboard or on your phone, so that you learn how to hype videos, how to support the channel. Because some of you will reach out to me and go, well, how do I do this? And how do I do that? I'll be like, Lord have mercy. Now, we used to give that job to Kim back in the day. We'd be like, Kim, can you make a video and show these people how to send a Cash App? Because I don't have time to make a lot of video. But I'm going to make a set of videos to kind of explain things so that you all will know what to do. And you can do this on other content creators platforms as well that you like and you want to support. So you guys will, because there's a new hype feature that they have to help videos be pushed in the algorithm. So if you really like a video from a content creator, you can actually help push that video forward. That they really depend upon you guys to push the videos that you guys like. And so that's why we always ask that you guys hit the like button. But there's also another feature where you guys can hype the video. And once you hype the video, that video gets thrown out to a lot more people. So I appreciate every single one of you. What am I going to do today? I'm going to work on our StreamYard class, and then I'm going to happy hour again. Yes, I said I'm on my way to happy hour. Hiya! Head on both sides. That's what I'm going to do. Now, why am I doing that? Because it's cheaper to eat the happy hour. You want some good food. It's going to be half price, and then you're going to be able to sit there and enjoy you a libation. And that's why I'm on my way to the happy hour. So God bless every single one of you. I love every single one of y'all. Thank y'all for supporting the channel. Being beautifully honest, you and Mary stay put. And I will see you guys on Monday. But check the channel, because I might have a surprise video to show up this weekend. So y'all just make sure y'all come and visit the channel, because I might do a little something. It ain't going to be live, but I might be talking some smack about somebody, and we'll see. But y'all make sure y'all come and watch it. And Thank y'all who are praying for me and my Church of God in Christ hat. It's in a box. It's under high security right now. They are protecting it. they're protecting my hat, because my hat, some people were not expecting that, but them Church of God in Christ hats, you got to spend a lot of money. You got to protect them. They're on lock and key. So I got my hat on lock and key. I'll see y'all on Monday. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button, and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon, and make sure you press all notifications, so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button, or somewhere around here, so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.